It is Thursday, December 4th.
This money should have been available to school boards at the beginning of the school year.
The province is touting an investment in school mental health support, while advocates say it is far from enough.
We feel like she doesn't have a connection. She's not from here. She doesn't have a history with us.
The latest recall petition campaign targets the Premier.
Last two games has played incredibly well.
I think those are some really good games that we can go off of and just continue. And if we do, I think we're putting ourselves in a really good spot.
The Oilers with praise for their goaltender, Stuart Skinner, as the team focuses in on the remaining 4 games of a homestand, hoping to gain ground in the standings, starting with a win tonight. Your morning starts right now. Welcome to your Thursday morning, Edmonton. Glad to have you here as we start things off. And warm out there, relatively speaking, compared to what it was yesterday as Corey was standing outside with the forecast. Now he's back in the studio. Corey, how's it shaping up today?
It's shaping up a little bit on the wet side for today. We are seeing some showers in the city right now, warm enough to support that. And as we go throughout the day today, rain and snow, a little bit on the warm side too, so a lot of that just melting on contact or already falling as rain. As we go throughout tomorrow, our temperature drops off, so we'll get to some cold. Things could become a little bit slick for tomorrow. I have all those details, your 3, 5, and 10-day forecast as we go throughout the morning, Kent.
All right, thank you, Corey. Well, City Council is expected to finalize next year's tax increase today. The mayor vowing to hold it at or below 6.4%, which translates to an extra $230 for the average homeowner. Yesterday, Council agreed to borrow $11 million to give to the city's tourism body, Explore Edmonton.
I think everyone agreed that starting next year, we need to provide that stable long-term funding for Explore. So it would be coming on the tax roll, presumably next year anyway.
Councillors have debated a variety of cuts to trim the tax increase, $14 million worth on the capital side, including putting off demolishing the Argyle Velodrome and deferring new bike racks for buses. None of those cuts were approved. On the operating side, there was nearly $8 million in proposed cuts, including holding back $2 million earmarked for vandalism response. Council trimmed just $440,000. The council approved $25 million on the capital item, 25 new buses, which will not be on the books until 2027. Councillors are still debating $38 million in new operating money, along with the money for Explore Edmonton. They approved a $3 million top-up for disabled transit.
This is just keeping up with the growth. Now that the ridership is at an all-time high for DATS, it's 6% higher than it's ever been before. Not approving that funding would have resulted in a service level decrease for people using DATS, and that was unacceptable.
Other proposed spending still on the table includes $6 million for more peace officers, $500,000 for the infill liaison team, and $3 million for enhanced bus and transit cleaning. A crowdfunding effort is underway for a family displaced by a fire that killed a 2-year-old boy. Edmonton Fire Services responding to a call in Clairview just after 1 Friday morning. 2 other children were taken to hospital. An infant remains in critical condition, and an 8-year-old girl has been released. A woman who lived in the home is still in hospital with serious injuries, while a man was treated for his injuries and is now out of hospital. 2 others, a second man and a 10-year-old girl, were treated at the scene. A GoFundMe page has been set up by the children's aunt, raising more than $4,000 so far. Edmonton Fire Rescue continues to investigate the cause of the fire. The provincial government is spending millions of dollars from the 2025 budget to address classroom complexities and mental health issues. The Mental Health and Wellbeing Grant will provide $69 million over 3 years. The goal is to create customizable funding to improve mental health in schools. This includes staff training, external support navigators, wellness coaches, as well as specialized mental health classrooms, beyond the government's goal of adding 60 by 2027. Up to 20% can be used on individualized support. Some say this plan doesn't go far enough.
Really what you had today was a re-announcement of money that was already allocated in budget 2025.
Heading right out of budget in the spring and into the summer, we're into really detailed collective bargaining negotiations and subsequently a strike. So it was challenging to find the right opportunity to be able to communicate the information. I think this is an exciting moment, though.
The money for mental health support was announced in the spring budget. Education Minister Dimitris Nikolaides says the grant is the first time dedicated mental health funding is solidly in place. A recall campaign has been launched against Premier Danielle Smith. According to documents sent to CTV News by petition organizers, a recall drive in Smith's Brooks Medicine Hat riding has been approved by Elections Alberta. Petition organizers say the effort stems from concerns about the Premier's lack of connection to the community and her use of the notwithstanding clause.
I feel like my voice and the voices of my neighbors aren't being heard. I feel like our MLA she's rarely seen in the community. She's not seen in the community. We feel like she doesn't have a connection. She's not from here. She doesn't have a history with us.
Elections Alberta has not posted the petition or any statement from Smith in response to it on its website. The Premier's office also not responding to CTV News' request for comment. The UCP caucus says the recall process should not be used to overturn elections because of disagreements with government policy. To trigger a recall vote for the Premier, 12,070 signatures are required. 14 other UCP MLAs are also facing active recall efforts. Well, as we head into the winter driving season, the mayor says the city will not be making any changes to deal with clearing slippery streets. Andrew Knack says council will not be revisiting calcium chloride. Several years ago, a pilot project used calcium chloride in much larger quantities to test its effects on city roads, but pushback from the community at that time meant the chemical would not be used as an option.
It was not popular amongst Edmontonians, and even though it made a measurable difference in safety, folks were not keen to continue that.
The city currently uses a mix of sand, salt, rock chips, and a small amount of calcium chloride brine to help make roads safer during the winter time. And certainly the trucks have been out the last couple of days with this snow and this rain trying to provide some traction, and it's all quite mucky out there, Corey.
It is very wet. Some areas maybe where there was a little bit of snow, a little bit slushy, and you're going to have to deal with that for today as we've got showers and possibly even some wet flurries falling as we go throughout the day today. Let's take a look at our almanac for today. Our high is 2, average seasonal high -4, low of -5. We'll reach that later into today, so a bit of reverse that way. We started off on the warmer side. And -13 is our average seasonal low. Let's take a look at the satellite radar right now. We've got an area of rain falling. The radar having a hard time determining if it's rain or a rain-snow mix. But when I came into work, and a lot of us, we were seeing showers here in the city. So could be seeing that still, possibly even some wet flurries. We're seeing snow and flurries to the north and to the south, all the way down to Red Deer and areas east and west along the major highways. So be careful out there if you are heading out on any of the major roads this morning. We are sitting at 1 right now. Wind on the light side. The wind will pick up as we go throughout the day. Light to start off and then breezy throughout the afternoon. We might make it back up to 2. We were at 2 last hour, so hovering around 1 and 2 degrees as we go throughout the day. We could see showers to start off, possibly some flurries mixed in there. So it could be a little bit messy as we go throughout the day. Temperatures drop for tomorrow, which could lead to some very slick, icy conditions. I'll talk about that coming up in a little bit. It's the festive time of year again, and we are celebrating with our Holiday Cheer House of the Year contest. Just send us a picture of your outdoor holiday display, and you could win $500 cash. Enter at ctvedmonton.ca or follow the QR code on your screen. Happy holidays.
All right, now we have to address something here, Corey, with the Holiday Cheer House. Last year's winners, Rob and Miriam Sims, they message us this week, and they say people don't believe that they won.
Really? Okay.
Yes. So this is for the haters. Yes, they won last year. Yes, their house is awesome. Check it out. Look at that.
That is amazing. That was fantastic. And they love Charlie Brown. And didn't he build all those cutouts, I believe?
I think so.
I think he built them, painted them.
If I remember correctly, yeah.
And beautiful. They deserved that win last year.
So anybody who has been stopping by or saying anything that they don't believe they won, they did. They're the winners definitively from last year. They're located in Mill Woods area, 45th Street, 32A Avenue. Congratulations to them. Shout out to their hard work. And yes, they won. And yes, you could win this year by submitting your house on the website or using the QR code. So thank you very much for them for participating. Now, speaking of lights, the Alberta legislature is all decked out for the holidays after their annual light up last night. Lieutenant Governor Salma Lakhani, Premier Daniel Smith, and Alberta NDP leader Naheed Nenshi all there to celebrate. The night also included a musical performance at the Visitor Centre, complete with hot chocolate and festive activities. The Premier says it's an important holiday tradition.
When we light the tree tonight, we have a shining symbol of our province that will drive out the gloom and bring joy to everyone who sees it all throughout the Christmas season, because we all know that this time of year is when the sun comes up late and goes down early. This space in front of the provincial legislature belongs to everyone in Alberta.
Events continue at the legislature's rotunda on Fridays and Saturdays from 6:30 to 7:30 in the evening, all the way until December 20th. Let's take a look at your commute as we get moving here on a Thursday. 80th Avenue, 97th Street to 98th, all closed up for drainage repairs today only. University Avenue, 115th Street to 114th, closed for drainage work. That starts today, will last for a while until December 12th. And then 105th Street, 80th Ave to 81st, southbound traffic closed for gas line installation until Saturday. We'll keep a close eye on conditions for you today. Still ahead, what former Minister Stephen Guilbeault had to say about Alberta's deal with Ottawa on a proposed pipeline after he quit cabinet, and why Canadian families can expect to spend thousands of dollars more on food next year.
Here's a look at your Edmonton gas prices, not changing much from yesterday. The average gas cost still $1.16.1. Highest gas price still $1.25.9. And the lowest gas price coming in not too long ago, the Costco on 149th Street selling at $104.9.
Gas prices brought to you by Action Furnace. Fixed right or it's free. Programming brought to you by James H. Brown Injury Lawyers, the heavy hitters of injury law.
Former Environment Minister Stephen Guilbeault is speaking for the first time since resigning last week over a disagreement in climate policy.
My government needs to be honest with Canadians. With the rollbacks that we've seen over the past few months on different climate change measures that have been adopted over the years by me and some of my predecessors, it is impossible to see how we achieve our 2030 targets.
In an interview with CTV's Power Play, Guilbeault says the math just does not add up. Guilbeault resigned from cabinet hours after Prime Minister Mark Carney and Premier Daniel Smith unveiled a new memorandum of understanding, laying the groundwork for major energy projects, including a new pipeline, paused the oil and gas emissions cap, and suspended the clean energy regulations in Alberta pending a new carbon pricing agreement. Guilbeault says Alberta's increase to industrial carbon pricing is not enough to mitigate the rollback of other climate policies. He also believes Canada's net goal to hit net zero emissions by 2050 is now in jeopardy. Ottawa is sending nearly 70,000 federal workers information about early retirement. Public servants receiving the letter do not have to make a decision right now. They're just being given the information about options. The federal budget called for about 28,000 federal jobs to be cut by 2029. The government is said to be trying to reach that target mostly through attrition. This program is expected to begin early next year. Workers have up to a year to make up to their minds. And food is going to cost more next year. Canada's food price report from 2026 comes from the Dalhousie Agri-Food Analytics lab. It predicts an average family of 4 will spend more than $17,000 on food next year. That's almost $1,000 more compared to this year. The report also says 1/4 of households in Canada are considered food insecure. According to reports, some of the factors driving up food prices this year were the trade war, the end of Ottawa's tax holiday and the soaring cost of beef. A strike by Air Transat pilots could be coming.
A December strike will be catastrophic because capacity is already saturated. Other airlines like Air Canada and WestJet are flying full plane for the holidays.
By this time next week, the airline's roughly 700 unionized pilots will be in a strike position. They have voted to give the pilots' union governing body the authority to declare a strike as soon as December 10th. Air Transat is calling this, quote, a common step in the collective bargaining process. The company says operations are continuing as normal. The strike threat comes nearly a year after negotiations began. The pilots are pushing for pay raises, job security, and better working conditions. It's time for us to take a break. We'll be right back.
School Day Forecast is brought to you by the Alberta Teachers Association. Strong schools equal a strong Alberta.
6:21, you're taking a live look through the River Valley Skycam. Raindrops on the camera lens. It is warm enough to support that, but we're very close still to the freezing mark. We're sitting at 1 right now. We've got 0 in Slave Lake, Cold Lake -2, Fort McMurray -9. So colder to the north and northeast. We'll be under some of those temperatures for tomorrow. But right now we're in a warmer sector of air. Jasper 2, Grand Prairie 3 degrees. As we take a look at your school day forecast brought to you by the Alberta Teachers Association, stronger schools equals a stronger Alberta. We'll be hovering around 1 to 2 degrees as we go throughout the day. We could see some showers, possibly some wet flurries on and off as we go throughout the day today. So it could be a little bit wet and a little bit slushy. There's a snowfall warning for areas north of Whitecourt. Could see 10 to 20 centimeters by tomorrow evening. We're not under a warning or anything like that, but as we take a look at the satellite radar right now, we are seeing snow and some rain mixed in there as well, just northwest of the city. Could see this be falling as wet flurries right now, but as I said, kind of a mix as we go throughout the day today. We will see that continue throughout the day and then ease as we head into the evening with still a chance of some flurries. As we take a look at our temperature for today, 1 to 2 degrees. We'll kind of hover around those two temperatures for the day today. Becoming a little bit breezy as we go throughout the afternoon. And again, we could see some showers and wet flurries on and off throughout the day today. Kent.
All right, thank you, Corey. Well, the Edmonton Oilers return to home ice tonight against Seattle. The next 4 games are at Rogers Place, the team hoping to string together some wins. They've allowed just 1 goal over the last 2 games. Stuart Skinner with a shutout in Seattle Saturday, and then just allowing 1 goal against Minnesota Tuesday. Despite that, the Oilers only have 1 win to show for it. At practice yesterday, head coach Chris Knobloch had praise for the goaltender.
Last 2 games he's played incredibly well. And anytime goaltender's playing well, he covers up mistakes, and because certainly there were mistakes and we gave up some chances, but when the save is made, it's easily to you can forget about the mistake and it's not amplified so much.
Honestly, last 2 games have been great. I think those are some really good games that we can go off of and just continue, and if we do, I think we're putting ourselves in a really good spot.
Puck drop tonight is 7 o'clock. The team also announced its annual skills competition will be February 1st. Tickets for that go on sale tomorrow at 10 o'clock.
Hello there, Kara Wagland in the Sports Center newsroom with your must-see moment from Wednesday. And for it, we are off to Milwaukee, where the Bucks are hosting the Pistons. Miles Turner just going at the rim, throws one down. He woke up this morning and he chose some violence. A huge slam for the Bucks center.
Put some hot sauce on that beef.
Puts Isaiah Stewart, tried to block him. Instead, he ends up on the wrong side of that one. It's your must-see moment from Wednesday. And coming up tonight on TSN, we kick off Week 14 in the NFL. We got the Cowboys and Lions going head-to-head. Coverage for that one gets underway at 7 Eastern at 4 Pacific. That's all for now from Sports Center. Have a great day.
TSN Must-See Moment, brought to you by Century Casino. 3 great locations, Edmonton, St. Albert, and Century Mile.
So last year we started a new holiday game involving the Sears Wish Book. Hit with all of you at home guessing on the text line. So it is back.
That's right. Kim is on location today, so she set this up for us. We're going to show you pages from an issue of the Wish Book, and we have to guess what year it is.
Okay, so here is the cover this week. Now, notice the catalog says Christmas book and not Wish Book.
So a little bit older, probably.
Sears did not adopt the name Wish Book until 1968, even though it was widely known as the Wish Book for decades before that.
And here's a preview of some books back then. This 16-pack could be purchased for just 39 cents.
Now check out the Pan-American candies made from pure cane sugar. Pop these in your mouth while you're listening to the Bob Hope Show. Perhaps Abbott and Costello on the radio. Big clue there.
Okay. Every man needs a handkerchief for the holiday season, especially if you want to look as slick as Bing Crosby.
Okay. And here's a look at some of the perfumes and cosmetics for the lady in your life. Popular brands in this time included Coty, Max Factor, and Ayer.
Sure. If you're looking to spruce up your home, check this out. Chia Pets.
Oh, really?
Oh, okay. Or a window shelf plant holder clocking in at $225%.
Wow. Yeah. Prices were different back then. The holidays are all about the kids as well. So we have a tea set, a freight train for 89 cents, bowling alley with a stand for $1.10. Some toys that are not pictured on the page but were invented this year include Slinky and Silly Putty.
So what year is this? We don't know, so we'll be guessing with you. You can guess along on the text line. We'll give you a year of grace on either side and let you know on the text line if you got it right.
Yeah, so if you get a text back from us, that means you were correct. If you don't, try again because you're wrong.
Okay. Are we guessing right now?
I'm going to save it because I got to think about this. But I think I got the decade down. Maybe.
The book is in color, so that's
also a good clue. Also a good clue. 50.
And when? So it was 68 when
68 when they changed the title. So we know it's before then.
Okay.
Okay. Have your say on the text line. Our producer will be letting you know if you are correct. Let it fly at 10-400. Coming up on the text line as well, the Christmas song bracket. It's a juicy one. Stay tuned for that. We'll be right back.
Help us build a mountain of toys. Donate today at ctvedmonton.ca.
Good morning. It is 6:30 right now. You're on time. You're in the right place. Happy to have you with us as we start things off today. And Corey, today seems like it's going to be another slushy one.
That's right. You want to be careful out on the roads. Some roads might be just hanging around the freezing mark. And with that, we have been seeing some rain this morning. So there could be some slick spots. A lot of wet, though, on the roads and some slushy conditions as well. And we'll just add to that as we go throughout the day. Rain and snow today, a little bit on the warmer side. Friday, though, our temperatures take a drop. I'll have all those details, your 5-day in 6 minutes. Kent.
All right, thank you, Corey. The province is now allocating previously promised money from this year's budget to address classroom complexities and mental health issues in schools. Critics arguing it's not enough to help educators deal with the current situation. CTV's Nicole Lampa is live with the latest on this morning. So, Nicole, if this was already announced money, what's new?
Kent, the education minister says the dedicated mental health funding will now go directly to school boards, which were previously running pilot programs. And he says school divisions now get to decide how the money will be spent based on individual school needs.
The government of Alberta is providing $69 million over 3 years for the Mental Health and Wellbeing Grant.
The goal is to create customizable funding to improve mental health in schools. This includes staff training, external support navigators, wellness coaches, as well as specialized mental health classrooms beyond the government's goal of adding 60 by 2027, and up to 20% can be used on individualized supports. The Alberta Teachers Association stresses this is not new money teachers were fighting for during the 3-week strike, and that the grant should have been implemented back in September.
This money should have been available to school boards at the beginning of the school year, not finding ourselves in December, post-job action, now trying to make it look like they are addressing some of the complex needs that we've already been talking about in our classrooms for years.
And the education minister was asked why Inclusion Alberta and parents of children with disabilities were not included behind the decision-making behind this grant. He says they will be invited to the next cabinet committee meeting regarding this later this month. Kent.
Okay, Nicole, thank you. Well, Edmonton police say no charges will be laid in a recent homicide. Last month, during a welfare check at a home in northwest Edmonton, police found the body of a man, the medical examiner determining that he was killed. Police say the suspect has since died and no charges will be laid, and they are not looking for any other people in the case. A Calgary teenager has been accused of using artificial intelligence to create child sex abuse and exploitation material. Police say AI technology was used to sexualize photos of girls from several different high schools around Calgary. A 17-year-old is facing charges of making, possessing, and distributing child sexual abuse and exploitation material, along with criminal harassment.
This is not a joke. It's not a prank. This is the most extreme form of bullying and a criminal offense. We will take steps to stop this behavior. AI can recreate almost anything, good or bad. And the caveat we always use is not necessarily bad platforms, not bad software, it's bad behavior utilizing those platforms and software.
Police are not identifying any of the schools involved because it may identify the victims or the accused. And a warning from Edmonton police this morning about a man harassing women from online dating and escort sites. Police are looking for Matthew Edward Williams, who also goes by Matthew Galpine. The charges of threats and criminal harassment. In 2022, police say a woman reported a man who she met on Tinder who was harassing and berating her over the phone. He stopped for a time but reconnected with her this year through a different app. Police say similar warrants were issued for Williams 2 years ago in Calgary. An Alberta teen is one of the first pediatric patients to receive a groundbreaking transplant surgery. 16-year-old Raiden Delaney is one of 2 Canadians to receive a robot-assisted kidney transplant. The surgery was first performed on 20 adult patients at the University of Alberta Hospital last year. The robotic arms make smaller incisions for a minimally invasive approach. That leads to a speedier recovery, less pain medication, life-changing for this Alberta teen.
It's like a switch. It was like, it went from me being tired all the time to me wanting to eat, drink.
To see how well he is now and how good he's doing, and to actually get to see him enjoy being a kid, that's tremendous for me.
The surgeon says demand for the procedure in other provinces is growing because of this awareness. Very cool. Okay, let's bring Corey back in for a look at the forecast. You see the drops out there again, and just another wet one.
That's right, and we did have some snow on the road, so slushy, wet. That'll be the case as we go throughout the day today. Let's take a look at our almanac. Our high for today is 2. We were at 2 last hour. We're at 1 now. We'll probably just hover around 1 and 2 degrees as we go throughout the day today. Average seasonal high is -4. Current conditions, Stony Plain 1. The airport, Elki and the Blatchford station also at 1 degree. Winds on the light side. The wind will pick up a little bit as we go throughout the day today. Breezy this afternoon. Wind gusts not showing up right now, but we could see wind gusts around 30 and then even a little bit windier as we go throughout the evening. So wind picking up throughout the day. Temperature 1-2 degrees as we go throughout the day. We could see on and off showers, possibly some wet flurries mixed in there. A better chance of seeing some snow as we go throughout the evening. As far as your 5-day forecast, tomorrow we start off at -8 and our temperature drops through the day. -13 into the afternoon. A chance of flurries for tomorrow. Cloudy on Saturday, -17 to start, -13 for a high, and then we start to warm up a little bit, but this is short-lived. By Monday, a high of 0. I have your 10-day forecast coming up in 15 minutes. Kent.
Thank you, Corey. We'll take you to the roads. This is White Mud Drive and Gateway Boulevard. Plenty of people on their way this morning. You can see that shine on the roads again today, so just be aware. As Corey mentioned, it's wet out there, could be slippery in some sections, so heads up as you head out the door. Elsewhere in the city, things you need to know about: 91st Street, 83rd Avenue to 88th, under flag person control for power maintenance work. 9 to 3 this morning to this afternoon. 95th Street, 105 Avenue to 106, all closed up for drainage repairs until Saturday. And 170th Street at Windermere Boulevard, down to a single lane in each direction to Ellerslie Road for construction. That will last until Sunday. We're coming up, a battle of cartoon tunes in our holiday song bracket. Frosty against Rudolph. Who will reign supreme? It's up to you on the text line next. Plus, socks fit for a king's drapes and a local kid's big win at charades. Sidebar stories are coming up. And Alberta's energy demand is expected to grow significantly. What role could wind, solar, and nuclear play? That conversation's after 7 o'clock. Stay with us.
Wake up with Your Morning Edmonton. Brought to you by CIR Realty. Making real estate easy in Edmonton, Red Deer, and Central Alberta. Help us build a mountain of toys. Donate today at ctvedmonton.ca.
It's time to check in with our song bracket, but before we do that, we've been flooded with answers to the text line regarding the year for the Wish Book. Shout out to Dell, Eddie, Brad, Christy, Kim, Dee, Randy, Terrelyn, Colleen, and Rachel, who are correct.
Okay, good.
And they're in the minority in the correct guesses. There are tons of them out there, so keep them coming. We'll revisit that in a few minutes. But right now, the song bracket. Today we have two songs that are a bit more character-based, associated with cartoons. So we'll get to that. But first, recapping yesterday, a Christmas staple is gone from the bracket.
Okay.
Jingle Bells up against Santa Claus is coming into town. And Jingle Bells is all along on its sleigh and out of the competition. Santa Claus is coming to town.
Okay.
Moves along.
I wonder if it was a tight race between the two, because I find that for me they're kind of similar. They're similar in how I feel about them.
Yeah, you agree with Kim that you don't like them.
Yeah.
Well, one of them had to go and one of them had to move on. So Santa Claus into the next round. Now today we will determine who joins them.
Yeah, the matchup continues. Two protagonists in their own story, but who will take the hero's journey to the next matchup? We have Frosty the Snowman up against Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. Okay.
Ooh, that is a tricky one.
Yeah, okay.
I think Frosty moves on. I think it's a better song.
It's a better song. I think so too. You know how there's the extra lyrics on Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer?
Yeah.
Like you would sing the song and then shout out. I remember we had a school performance together.
Yeah.
Everyone got into the auditorium and we were singing songs, and everyone would sing the alternate lyrics at the end. Our music teacher lost it. Stopped the concert and everything.
Really?
Yeah.
Shut the concert down?
Unless you sing the song properly, we are not going ahead with this.
Grade 3s on me. On me, grade 3s.
Yeah, totally. I won't
well,
say
that
the name.
Makes Rudolph a little bit more fun in my books. So here's how you participate. If you want Frosty the Snowman to move on, you text Frosty to 10400. If you want Rudolph to move on, Rudolph had it so tough with those other reindeers at the beginning. You can text Rudolph to 10400. Have your say, everybody. Every text counts. Tip from Kyle upstairs. Maybe try going in capital letters to avoid the autocorrect, because that has been burned in some people. So give that a shot. Have your vote. Do it now. Now, here's something to consider if you're looking for a gift to the royal watcher in your life. These Christmas stockings were made from drapes that come from King Charles' Sandringham estate. How about that? They're being auctioned off to raise money for his foundation. There are 25 stockings. They've been hand-stitched by a sewing circle at Dumfries House in Scotland, which is where Charles Charitable Foundation works to preserve traditional skills and crafts. That's cool.
That is.
Yeah, each of the stockings individually numbered. 24 of them will be sold, and one will be given to the king as a Christmas gift, so you could have the same stocking as the king.
That's actually really cool. I imagine they are going to go for a pretty penny.
I would imagine so. And what a cool program preserving those handcrafting skills.
Yeah.
Cool.
Very cool. We have a mystery on our hands. A school in England is asking for the public's help tracking down a teddy bear sent into the stratosphere as part of a science experiment. What? Students at the Walhampton School in southern England launched the stuffed animal nicknamed Bradford Bear into the sky on a weather balloon. The camera on the balloon captured the bear soaring nearly 27 kilometers off the ground before turbulence eventually knocked it loose, sending it plunging back down. While the balloon and its tracker were recovered, the teddy bear has yet to be found.
No. Oh, no. Help him out, everybody.
Yeah, an interesting little experiment there.
We've got to get to this quickly, but this comes from Your Morning viewer. So say good morning to Hadley, who just wants to play along with the grown-ups.
One word. One word. Farting.
Tooting.
She just wanted to play charades. So her dad says that the adults were playing. She wanted to jump in. She made the sound effects instead of going traditional there. Hadley, way to go. Thanks to Joe for sending us that in. We love Hadley. Assist from his mother-in-law, who was gently pushing him to text that video in. So shout out to her as well. Thank you, Hadley. It's time for us to take a break. We'll be right back.
Here's a look at your snow report. Snow Valley, they've been making the snow, and they've got a good base, 60 centimeters. Out at Marmot Basin, no new snow there. Their base, 45 centimeters. Lake Louise getting a centimeter in the last 24 hours, taking them to 79 centimeters. As we look towards Sunshine Village, look at that base of snow, 91 centimeters. Nikiska, 57, and Norquay, 33 centimeter base.
Snow Report, brought to you by Snow Valley Ski Club. Opening soon.
Well, if you haven't started your holiday shopping yet, our next guest has done all the research for you on where to pick up the best gifts. Lifestyle expert Nikki Anastasakis is here with ideas for everyone on your list. Good morning.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
Great to have you with us. And now we want to make our Christmas shopping easy. Where can we shop for a holiday gift on a budget?
All right, so first off, I want to talk about Rona. They have all your holiday gifts ideas for everybody in the family, from large to small appliances, decor items, gift cards, and of course, tools. I have a selection of DeWalt tools here. First off, the cordless oscillating multi-tool kit. It has 28 cutting and sanding attachments. Then there's also the 20-volt lithium-ion work light. This is great for hands-free use and a rotating head. Then we also have the 4-horsepower portable vacuum, great for wet and dry surfaces, 5 gallons. And then lastly, the T-Stack modular mobile tower unit. This is a great organizing unit for at home or on the work site. You can purchase these at rona.ca or visit your local Rona. And then shifting to Giant Tiger. This is another fan favorite. They are a one-stop shop, offer low prices for everything, including cozy clothing like the pajamas you see on screen that I put on with my family, home decor, groceries, and toys from Hot Wheels to Barbie, and then beauty items. So I'm currently obsessed with their lip butter. They are just so great. I urge you guys to get your hands on these for great gifting items. You can visit gianttiger.com or your local Giant Tiger. Great gifts for everyone.
Awesome. And now, Nikki, what if we want to give a more customized or personalized gift?
Yeah, so Fujifilm is officially partnering with NHL through their new Fujifilm Print Life exclusive NHL collection. You can actually choose your favorite NHL team and personalize it on a mug, a water bottle, or a beer stein with your family photos right on it. They are made from the highest quality materials and professional printing techniques. The newest product is the engraved tumbler, which is available in 20 and 40 ounces. And honestly, it is a great way to celebrate your favorite team, drink out of your customized mug, and a fantastic Christmas gift. If you order by December 14th, you will receive your item just before Christmas. So order at FujifilmPrintLife.ca. and get all these amazing items for your family. And lastly, I want to shift over to some tech. Google, which is one of my favorite tech brands, they have their latest and greatest Pixel 10. I am obsessed with the Pixel phones. The photo quality is amazing, and on the new phone, they have a really high quality 5x telephoto lens. It's a really great gift for students as well because it has a homework assisting tool. Then there's also the Pixel Earbuds Pro 2, great for that music lover in your life, has some amazing noise canceling features. And then lastly, the Pixel Watch 4. It is for the fitness enthusiasts. They have up to 50 different exercise modes to help you manage your health and wellness. The battery can last 40 hours, which I love. You can purchase those at store.google.com. And there you have it, everybody, all these awesome Christmas gift ideas that you must get your hands on.
Perfect. Nikki, I want to thank you so much for bringing those ideas to us.
Thank you.
And Merry Christmas. And for more lifestyle inspiration, you can find Nikki on your socials at Nikkiana.
Brought to you by Action Furnace. Fixed right or it's free. School Day Forecast is brought to you by the Alberta Teachers Association. Strong schools equal a strong Alberta.
6:57, you are looking through the River Valley Skycam. Raindrops on the camera lens. We're seeing showers here in the city, also some wet flurries, and that'll be the case as we go throughout the day today. Temperature, we are sitting at 1. We're in warmer air in the central and southern areas. Grand Prairie 3, Jasper 2, some areas just below the freezing mark. Northeast areas of the province are colder. Fort McMurray -9, Fort Chippewa -13. We'll get into that colder air tomorrow, but warm for today. And here's your school day forecast brought to you by the Alberta Teachers Association. Stronger schools equals a stronger Alberta. Our temperature for today, 1-2 degrees. We'll hover around that. And as we go throughout the day, could see some showers, possibly some wet flurries on and off throughout this Thursday. As we take a look at your 5-day forecast, tomorrow -8 to start, -13 into the afternoon. So temperature dropping throughout the day. We could see some flurries. -17 to start Saturday, -13 for a high, and then we start to warm for Sunday and Monday. By Monday, a high of 0. But then as we go throughout next week, temperatures mild to start off, dropping off as we get towards the end of next week and into next weekend. Some overnight lows possibly approaching -20 towards the end of the 10-day forecast. It's December 4th, and we have these milestones to share. Wishing baby Blake a happy first birthday. Love, Auntie Betty, Uncle Oli, Mama, and Maximus.
And a happy 12th birthday to Sophia. Love from Mom and Dad.
And a happy 7th birthday to Deborah. Love from your dad, Mom, Ellie, Rebecca, Whitney, and David. Stay tuned. We have more milestones coming up in an hour.
Submit your milestone at ctvedmonton.ca under Your Morning. You could win a $100 gift card to Coolman's Greenhouse, which we draw for every week.
Time for your morning mystery. It's a character born on an ordinary day in a small town called Armonk, New York. It's an animated character voiced by comedian Jackie Vernon. The number of fingers he has changes in one scene after he becomes alive. His 5 fingers while counting to 10, but in the next shot, he's down to 4 fingers.
Fun.
Is this,
he's got a button nose.
See how fast I can write? Okay. Frosty the Snowman?
Gotta be Frosty.
Oh, interesting. A neat little tidbit about his fingers.
He's got 1, 2, 3, 4.
There you
in
go.
that picture. Interesting.
Frosty the Snowman.
Have your say on the text line. Frosty against Rudolph today. Big matchup.
The news you need to start your day begins right now.
It is Thursday, December 4th.
This money should have been available to school boards at the beginning of the school year.
The province is touting an investment in mental health supports in schools, while advocates say it's far from enough.
We feel like she doesn't have a connection. She's not from here. She doesn't have a history with us.
The latest recall petition campaign targets the Premier.
Last two games has played incredibly well.
I think those are some really good games that we can go off of and just continue. And if we do, I think we're putting ourselves in a really good spot.
Praise for the goaltender Stuart Skinner as the Oilers focus on the remaining 4 games of their homestand. Your morning starts right now. Just after 7 o'clock, welcome to your Thursday morning. Edmonton City Council is expected to finalize next year's tax increase today. The mayor vowing to hold it at or below 6.4%, which translates to an extra $230 for the average homeowner. Yesterday, council agreed to borrow $11 million to give the city's tourism body, Explore Edmonton, more cash.
I think everyone agreed that starting next year, we need to provide that stable long-term funding for Explore. So it would be coming on the tax roll, presumably next year anyway.
Councillors have debated a variety of cuts to trim the tax increase, $14 million worth on the capital side, including putting off demolishing the Argyle Velodrome and deferring new bike racks for buses. None of those cuts were approved, though. On the operating side, there was nearly $8 million in proposed cuts, including holding back $2 million earmarked for vandalism response. Council ended up trimming just $440,000. Now, Council approved $25 million on one capital item, 25 new buses, which will not be on the books until 2027. Councillors are still debating $38 million in new operating money. Along with that money for Explore Edmonton, they approved a $3 million top-up for disabled transit.
This is just keeping up with the growth. Now that the ridership is at an all-time high for DATS, it's 6% higher than it's ever been before. Not approving that funding would have resulted in a service level decrease for people using DATS, and that was unacceptable.
Other proposed spending still on the table includes $6 million for more peace officers, $500,000 for the infill liaison team, and $3 million for enhanced bus and transit cleaning. The province now has details for student mental health support. The multi-million-dollar investment was already promised in this year's budget. The opposition NDP and education advocates say it does not address what teachers have been fighting for. CTV's Nicole Lampa is live with the latest on this morning. So, Nicole, first of all, what exactly is the investment?
Kent, it's a $69 million grant over 3 years, and it's now going directly to school divisions, so they get to decide how the money will be spent based on individual school needs.
Up to 20% of the grant can be allocated by school boards for personalized individual supports, like specialized counseling, psychologists, or behaviorists, and other specialized assessments.
The goal is to create customizable funding to improve mental health in schools. This includes staff training, external support navigators, wellness coaches, as well as specialized mental health classrooms beyond the government's goal of adding 60 by 2027, and up to 20% can be used on individualized supports. The Alberta Teachers Association stresses this is not new money teachers wanted when they went on strike for 3 weeks, and that the grant should have been implemented back in September, while the opposition NDP calls it a Band-Aid solution.
And we need to see government act in a timely fashion. This is money that was previously announced in Budget 2025, and we're just getting a re-announcement of this here in December of 2025 under the guise of, well, we're going to address the complex needs.
And they're making things up as they go along. The minister has been saying lately that he's just figured out that complexity is an issue. Well, we've known that for many, many, many years.
And the education minister says there was no right time for this announcement, saying that budget came out in the spring, then there was the summer break, there was also bargaining, and then the strike, which is why we are now getting details about this mental health grant at this time. Kent.
Okay, Nicole, thank you. 2 Alberta cabinet ministers say money played a role in using the notwithstanding clause to end the teachers' strike. In a letter to constituents, Infrastructure Minister Martin Long says the government could not risk allowing the labor dispute to go to arbitration because it could cost the province hundreds of millions of dollars. The Education Minister was asked about the potential cost.
The elected leaders of this province and the Legislative Assembly need to be the ones to make the final decision, especially on something that can have significant policy and financial implications. Those final decisions should rest with elected officials and not unelected individuals like an arbitrator.
Premier Daniel Smith has said the province had to end the teacher strike because it was affecting students' educational and emotional well-being. A recall campaign has been launched against the Premier. According to documents sent to CTV News by petition organizers, a recall drive in Smith's Brooks Medicine Hat riding has been approved by Elections Alberta. Petition organizers say the effort stems from concerns about Daniel Smith's lack of connection to the community and her use of the notwithstanding clause.
I feel like my voice and the voices of my neighbors aren't being heard. I feel like our MLA she's rarely seen in the community. She's not seen in the community. We feel like she doesn't have a connection. She's not from here. She doesn't have a history with us.
Elections Alberta has not posted the petition or any statement from Smith in response to it on its website. The Premier's office has not responded to CTV News' request for comment. The UCP caucus says the recall process should not be used to overturn elections because of disagreements with government policy. To trigger a recall vote for the Premier, 12,070 signatures are required. 14 other UCP MLAs face active recall efforts. And a crowdfunding effort is underway for a family displaced by a fire that killed a 2-year-old boy. Edmonton Fire Rescue Services responding to this call in Clairview just after 1 o'clock Friday morning. 2 other children were also taken to hospital. An infant remains in critical condition. An 8-year-old girl has since been released. A woman who lived in the home is in hospital with serious injuries, and a man was treated for injuries and released. 2 others, a second man and a 10-year-old girl, were treated at the scene. The GoFundMe page set up by the children's aunt has raised more than $4,000 so far. The Edmonton Fire Rescue continues to investigate the cause of the fire. And as we head into winter driving season, the mayor says the city will not be making any changes to how the city will clear slippery streets. Andrew Knack says council will not revisit calcium chloride on the roads. Several years ago, a pilot project used calcium chloride in much larger quantities to test its effects on city roads, but pushback from the community at the time meant the chemical would not be used in large amounts in the future.
It was not popular amongst Edmontonians, and even though it made a measurable difference in safety, folks were not keen to continue that.
The city currently uses a mix of sand, salt, rock chips, and a small amount of calcium chloride brine to help make roads safer during the winter. And we're watching the roads, Corey, as the snow and rain falls again today. It is just another slushy one out there.
That's right. The good thing is the roads are mainly just wet right now, but there could be some slick spots, so you want to be mindful of that. We've got raindrops on the camera lens. Temperature-wise, we are hanging right around the freezing mark, just above it at 1 degree. Let's take a look at your almanac for today. Our high, 2 degrees. We were at that 2 a couple hours ago. As far as today, we'll hang around 1-2 degrees. We'll kind of see our temperature just hover around those temperatures. -4 is our average seasonal high. As we take a look at the current conditions right now, we've got snow and wet snow falling in and around the city. Some of this falling as showers. The radar having a hard time determining between the difference right now. So expect that we are seeing some mixed precipitation in and around the Edmonton area. All the way up to Slave Lake, we've got some flurries there. A little bit heavier in our region, seeing it down towards Red Deer, east and west along the main highways as well. So be very cautious on the roads. Again, we are at 1 degree right now. We're seeing some showers and wet flurries here in the city. We could see that as we go throughout the day. Temperature 1-2 degrees. As far as the wind, it will pick up, breezy throughout the afternoon and then windy this evening. As we take a look at tomorrow, -8 to start, -13 tomorrow afternoon, chance of flurries, -17 to start Saturday, -13 for a high and fairly cloudy. Your 5 and 10 day forecast still to come. It's the festive time again, and we are celebrating with our Holiday Cheer House of the Year contest. Just send us a picture of your outdoor holiday display, and you could win $500. Enter at ctvedmonton.ca or follow the QR code on the screen. Happy holidays and good luck. So send us in some of those pictures so we can maybe add you to the list of winners.
Exactly, and the winners is what we're talking about, because we have correspondence from Rob and Miriam Sims, who won last year, and they just message us this week and say that people don't believe they won last year. So Check this out.
Whoa,
this is their
amazing.
house. They won the contest last year, so for all the haters and the doubters out there, it is true. They were the winners of our contest, and it is undisputed. Look at all that effort. That is so cool.
Yeah, and he built all those Peanuts characters and put them out, and beautiful job.
So here it is. For your official confirmation, they were the winners last year. They're located in Mill Woods. Go check them out if you can. And you could be the winner this year by submitting on our website. We've got some great contenders so far, but submissions are still open. Well, the Edmonton Oilers return to home ice tonight against Seattle. The next 4 games are at Rogers Place, and the team is hoping to string together some wins. They've allowed just 1 goal over the last 2 games. Stuart Skinner with a shutout in Seattle Saturday, then just allowing 1 goal Tuesday against Minnesota. Despite that, though, the Oilers have only 1 win to show for it. At practice yesterday, head coach Chris Knobloch had praise for the goalie.
Last 2 games he's played incredibly well. And anytime the goaltender's playing well, he covers up mistakes. And because certainly there were mistakes and we gave up some chances. But when the save is made, it's easily to, you can forget about the mistake. And it's not amplified so much.
Honestly, last 2 games have been great. I think those are some really good games that we can go off of and just continue. And if we do, I think we're putting ourselves in a really good spot.
Puck drop tonight is 7 o'clock. The team also announced its annual skills competition will be February 1st. Tickets for that go on sale tomorrow at 10. Yeah, they're going to look just fine against Seattle today. They were buzzing against Minnesota on Tuesday night. So come on, big one against Seattle today. Here's a look at traffic for you. 80th Avenue, 97th Street to 98th Street, all closed up for drainage work today only. University Avenue, 115th Street to 114th Street, closed for drainage installation, starts today until the 12th. Then 105th Street, 80th Ave to 81st, southbound closed for gas line installation. Here's a look at the roads. As you can see, the snowflakes are flying out there. But, as Corey mentioned, for the most part, the roads remain wet, which is better than icy. So, for the most part, the commute is going okay, but slow. Some accumulation out there as we look at Stony Plain Road and 170th Street. So, as rush hour begins, we will watch closely your drive this morning. Well, a handful of cabinet ministers will address the Assembly of First Nations gathering in Ottawa today, the 3rd of the final day of meetings. Possible pipeline from Alberta is expected to be on the agenda. CTV National News reporter Jeremy Charon joins us with more on this. So, Jeremy, what are the most pressing issues to be addressed?
Yeah, look, Kent, the pipeline certainly has been a big focus already. The MOU between Alberta and Ottawa in the first 2 days of this Special Chiefs Assembly, the AFN Special Chiefs Assembly here in Ottawa. And I expect that will be a focus again today during a panel with some cabinet ministers. A slew of Carney's cabinet ministers will be at the meeting today during a panel this morning. Look, so far this has been a special assembly or special meeting of First Nations chiefs that has focused a lot on opposition to the Memorandum of Understanding between Ottawa and Alberta, but more broadly the fact that First Nations leaders feel as though, chiefs feel as though they have not been consulted adequately so far and have not been involved in these major projects as much as they believe they would be. The Prime Minister has been clear a focus of his government will be to move forward with these projects of national interest, these major projects, a lot of which are impacting First Nations and their lands. And the promise has been that First Nations leaders would be involved, would be consulted, would be partners in a lot of these projects and would be able to benefit from these projects as well. First Nations communities would be able to benefit, financially and through security guarantees. This was pitched as something that could benefit First Nations communities. And quite clearly, First Nations leaders feel as though that has not been the case so far. So, up until now, we've seen much pushback against Prime Minister Mark Carney. He spoke to the First Nations chiefs on Tuesday, addressed the room, and faced a lot of backlash, faced a lot of pressure. Prior to his opening remarks on Tuesday, the Assembly passed an emergency resolution to officially reject the Alberta MOU. And so they've been clear that they feel as though so far they've not been consulted as was promised, and they would like to be more involved involved and have a say. They completely oppose, so far as it stands, the agreement between Ottawa and Alberta and any changes to the oil ban, the tanker ban rather, that is promised as part of that agreement. So I expect today we'll see a lot more pushback, and the Prime Minister's cabinet ministers are going to have to continue some of those conversations to assure First Nations leaders that they will be part of things moving forward, and that nothing is going to move ahead without Indigenous partnership, which is the message that the Prime Minister has been putting forward. So far, it hasn't been received. First Nations chiefs don't seem to believe the promises that are being made.
Okay, Jeremy, thank you.
Anytime.
Well, still ahead, new images of Jeffrey Epstein's island home, including one room raising new questions, plus how long one of the doctors convicted of in Matthew Perry's death will be in prison.
Here's a look at your Edmonton gas prices, not changing much from yesterday. Average gas cost still $1.16.1. Highest gas price, that's also still at the same price of $1.25.9. Lowest gas price, that has shifted. Now with the Costco on 149th Street at 104.9.
Gas prices brought to you by Action Furnace. Fixed right or it's free. Wake up with Your Morning Edmonton. Brought to you by CIR Realty, making real estate easy in Edmonton, Red Deer, and Central Alberta.
Well, the provincial government is courting AI data centers, which could be a huge draw on our energy system. At the same time, our population is growing. So what can Alberta do to prepare for the energy needs of the future? For more insight, we welcome Martin Boucher, head of the Community Energy Innovation Center at Northwest College. Thanks so much for being here.
Yeah, thanks a lot. Happy to be here.
So let's talk about growth here. How much will Alberta's energy need grow coming up shortly here?
Yeah, really in the last 5 years, I think the whole conversation shifted in terms of a sort of a zero-sum way of thinking about the energy system to kind of an all-hands-on-deck. So it's quite significant, particularly with data centers and the energy draw that they have.
Yeah, in the conversation now. So a fossil fuel hub traditionally, how great is the need to now diversify?
Yeah, I think that's really critical. So I think it's an all-hands-on-deck situation where we have renewables, energy efficiency, nuclear, all sort of coming to bear to sort of move us in that direction.
Now, the province has changed the rules, started no-go zones for wind and solar. How has that affected, renewables at this point?
Frankly, I think it took some steam out of the sector. That's what I hear from the sector.
Yeah.
However, I think as I said, we're growing quite a bit in terms of that demand. Also, we have a really fantastic sort of solar resource and wind resource, and we have low penetration. So right now, renewables is only about 1/5 of our generation. So there's lots of opportunity to grow. So I think I'm optimistic we'll get back to that, but it certainly did take some steam out of the sector.
But is it going to need some sort of oversight change to say, hey, we got to open up all options here and maybe roll back some of these no-go zones?
I think we'll have to. Yeah, I think we'll have to get to a point where we're considering all these sort of diverse options.
Okay,
yeah.
And now that takes us to nuclear energy, which is a sort of polarizing topic. But what is the future of nuclear in Alberta?
Sure, it's becoming less polarized.
Okay.
I'm optimistic, cautiously optimistic about nuclear. We have a small nuclear reactor, so that's where the industry is going to sort of scale down. We haven't had nuclear since the 90s in Canada, but we have our first SMR going in Ontario. So from Alberta's perspective, we have a really wonderful opportunity to sort of learn from what's happening in Ontario and kind of take those lessons and figure out what makes sense for Alberta. But it's a long-term play. This isn't like a tomorrow thing.
Yeah.
This is like a 10 to 15 years in the horizon.
Now, that's my next question. How quickly do some of these policy decisions or some of this planning work need to happen to make sure we're not in a jeopardizing position with our power grid?
Yeah, no, it's a bit of an. I think the SO right now is with the data centers. That's the sort of the big draw right now. They have rules already around like projects that come in. They have to have their own generation, so they're not adding to the grid. So there's like some short-term, things that we need to do, and then there's a long-term kind of planning at the same time.
Now, you said it a couple times. You remain optimistic about the opportunities here in Alberta. Why is that?
Yeah, I think we have really fantastic resources. This sort of sounds a bit cheesy. I think we have a really good sort of business innovation sort of thing. And I think what calls for us to move forward is that sort of business savvy, that innovative spirit that we have here in Alberta. And I think that's where I think some of my optimism comes from.
Does that fight against, you know, the traditional fossil fuels only sort of attitude in the province?
No, I think like when I've engaged in energy, I think there's much more of an appetite. I don't think it's like my sense. This is where I might be annoyingly optimistic. I think it's less polarizing than people think. I think there's also just a real need. We're actually going to sort of move forward with like data centers and EV and AI. We kind of need an all hands on deck situation, so that it requires a lot of folks to sort of come to the table and kind of sort this out.
Optimism is never annoying. We appreciate the insight. Thank you so much for providing some of that for us today. Optimism always on this show. The Community Energy Innovation Center also helps to connect industry, communities, and governments on these topics. You can find out more at norquest.ca.
7:23, you're taking a live look through the Action Furnace River Valley Skycam. Action Furnace, fixed rider, it's free, 1 degree. And wet. We've got some raindrops on the camera lens, and as we look towards the streets, some shiny roads. We've been seeing some rainfall here in the city, but also now some flurries, wet flurries, a bit of a rain-snow mix. So could become a little bit tricky on the roads. Our temperature for today, we should hover around 1-2 degrees. We are in a warmer pocket of air. Temperatures in our area just below the freezing mark. Once you get into the north, that's where the colder air is. Fort McMurray -9, Fort Chipewyan -12. We're going to tap into that for tomorrow. Right now, Peace River towards High Prairie, some snow. We're seeing that all the way from Slave Lake down towards Red Deer, east and west. It is falling here in the city. Some showers, some wet snow. We're getting a bit of a mix, and that'll be the case on and off as we go throughout the day today, as that continues to push to the south-southeast, and then it becomes a little bit more tapered as we head into the late afternoon and evening. Temperature for today, again, will hang around 1-2 degrees. Winds will pick up. Breezy throughout the afternoon, windy throughout the evening, and on and off rain and snow mix throughout the day. The Art of Banksy Without Limits is in Edmonton for a limited time after its incredible worldwide success. Explore 200 of the artist's works, such as his original art, prints, photos, and sculptures. Enter for a chance to win a pair of VIP passes at ctvedmonton.ca. Ken.
All right, thanks, Corey. Well, new images of Jeffrey Epstein's private island have been released. Video and photographs of the property on Little St. James were released by Democrats of the House Oversight Committee. The images show a pool, cabana, and several interior rooms, including bedrooms. One of the rooms appears to show a full dentist's office setup with faces on the walls. U.S. President Donald Trump signed legislation last month ordering the Justice Department to release documents from its long-running investigation into Epstein. Now, the doctor who pleaded guilty to selling ketamine to Matthew Perry has been sentenced to 2.5 years in jail. The Los Angeles judge handing down the sentence plus 2 years of probation to 44-year-old Salvador Plasencia. He admitted to illegally selling ketamine to Perry, knowing that he was struggling as an addict. The ketamine that killed Perry was not provided by the doctor. He's the first of 5 defendants who have pleaded guilty in connection to Perry's death to be sentenced. 4 more bears have been captured in British Columbia following an attack on a school group last month. Conservation officers say the bears are being tested to determine if they were involved in the attack that left 3 children and a teacher badly injured. 4 other grizzlies captured in Bella Coola last week were released after forensic evidence confirmed they were not associated with the attack. GPS collars are being used to monitor the released bears, which officials say are prepared to den for the winter. And food is going to cost more next year. Canada's food price report comes from the Dalhousie Agri-Food Analytics Lab for 2026. It predicts an average family of 4 will spend more than $17,000 on food next year. That's almost $1,000 more compared to this year. The report also says 1/4 of households in Canada are considered food insecure. According to the report, some of the factors driving up food prices this year were the trade war, the end of Ottawa's tax holiday, and soaring beef costs. Well, still ahead, changes could be coming to Alberta childcare. Details from the minister coming in 10 minutes.
I'm Nicole Lampa, the province says it's investing in supports for student mental health to address complexities in classrooms. More on this after the break.
Programming brought to you by A Very Merry Pops with your Edmonton Symphony Orchestra. Learn more at winspearcenter.com.
Good morning, you beautiful city. It's 7:30 on a Thursday. Hopefully you're off to a great start to your day. Kim is out and about. We're going to check in with her in just a few minutes. But, Corey, you got to keep an eye on all that wetness out there.
That's right. We're seeing rain and a rain-snow mix falling here in the city. We've got raindrops on the camera lens. Could be making for some tricky driving conditions, although I haven't been able to find any collisions on Edmonton Road, so that is good. As we go throughout the day, rain-snow mix, warm. We'll be around the freezing mark to about 2 degrees, and then our temperature takes a big drop tomorrow. I have all those details, your 5-day in 6 minutes, Ken.
All right, thank you, Corey. Well, the province is touting an investment for student mental health support. The opposition NDP and education advocates saying the funding isn't new and does not address what teachers have been fighting for. CTV's Nicole Lampa is live with the latest on this morning. So, Nicole, this is a $69 million grant. What's it to be used for?
Kent, for the next 3 years, the money will go directly to school boards, allowing them to decide how the funding will be spent based on individual school needs.
This funding also supports recommendations from the Aggression and Complexity in Schools Action Team report, making sure every student gets timely access to a range of supports that help them learn and stay healthy.
The goal is to create customizable funding to improve mental health in schools. This includes staff training, external support navigators, wellness coaches, as well as specialized mental health classrooms beyond the government's goal of adding 60 by 2027. Up to 20% can be used on individualized supports. The Alberta Teachers Association stresses this money is from Budget 2025 and not the additional funding teachers were fighting for during the 3-week strike, and says the grant should have been implemented back in September.
This won't be enough to address the concerns that we're seeing across this province. Now, it's targeted specifically for mental health supports, but we know that the need out there is much greater than what $23 million a year is going to do.
And the province says schools must submit a report each year on how the money is being spent and the impact it has had in regards to student well-being. Kent.
Okay. Nicole, thank you. Now, the education minister also says an announcement on a childcare deal with Ottawa is coming in the next few weeks.
So we do have some news to share in that regard, so I will save that for another day. But yes, we do have some information to share to Albertans regarding continuation of childcare agreement, and I'll be happy to share that in, I think, about a couple of weeks when we have another podium scheduled.
Back in April, the province established a flat monthly childcare fee for parents equivalent to $15 a day. New rules limit the number of for-profit daycares which could receive federal funding. Ottawa and Alberta signed a deal agreeing to further lower fees to $10 per day by March of 2026. A former AHS CEO is weighing in on Alberta's decision to delve further into private health care. Last month, the province said it will soon allow some doctors to work in both public and private health care systems. Surgeons will be allowed to offer elective procedures paid for privately. That's only after committing to a minimum number of publicly funded surgeries. The government has not released all the details. However, Stephen Duckett says that Alberta should proceed with caution. 15 years ago, Duckett was the CEO of AHS and says he's a health professor in Australia now. About half the population there uses the private system.
In a sense, the hospital system ends up as a two-speed system. That is, if you've got hip pain or knee pain, and you need to have a hip replacement or a knee replacement, the waiting time for that is much shorter in the private if you go privately than if you go on the public hospital system.
The UCP government has vowed to put guardrails in place to ensure the public system does not suffer. For more on Duckett's view of private care, you can go to our website, edmonton.ctvnews.ca. Well, a Calgary teenager has been accused of using artificial intelligence to create child sex abuse and exploitation material. Police say AI technology was used to sexualize photos of girls from several different high schools around Calgary. A 17-year-old is facing charges of making, possessing, and distributing child sexual abuse and exploitation material, along with criminal harassment.
This is not a joke. It's not a prank. This is the most extreme form of bullying and a criminal offense. We will take steps to stop this behavior. AI can recreate almost anything, good or bad. And the caveat we always use is not necessarily bad platforms, not bad software, it's bad behavior utilizing those platforms and software.
Police are not identifying any of the schools involved because it may identify victims or the accused. And a warning from Edmonton police this morning about a man harassing women from online dating and escort sites. Police are looking for Matthew Edward Williams, who also goes by Matthew Galpin, for charges of threats and criminal harassment. In 2022, police say a woman reported a man who she met on Tinder who was harassing and berating her over the phone. He stopped for a time but then reconnected with her this year through another app. Police say similar warrants were issued for Williams 2 years ago in Calgary. House Speaker Rick McIver says advancing accessibility for Albertans with disabilities is an ongoing priority for the province.
Our province is home to thousands of people with disabilities whose contributions strengthen our communities, our workplaces, and our lives. Their leadership, resilience, and creativity continue to shape Alberta in meaningful and lasting ways.
McIver says Wednesday's Day of Persons with Disabilities is meant to honor the achievements of different people while recognizing the barriers that still stand in their way. He says it's important to keep working toward a society where inclusion is the norm rather than the exception. Government ministers, the Lieutenant Governor, and several guests also spoke during a ceremony at the legislature. An Alberta teen is one of the first pediatric patients to receive a groundbreaking transplant surgery. 16-year-old Raiden Delaney is one of 2 Canadians to receive a robotic-assisted kidney transplant. This surgery was first performed on 20 adult patients at the University of Alberta Hospital last year. The robotic arms make smaller incisions for a minimally invasive approach. That leads to a speedier recovery, less pain medication, which is life-changing for this teen.
It's like a switch. It was like, it went from me being tired all the time to me wanting to eat, drink.
To see how well he is now and how good he's doing, and to actually get to see him enjoy being a kid, that's tremendous for me.
The surgeon says demand for the procedure in other provinces is now growing.
7:37, you're taking a live look through the River Valley Skycam. Raindrops on the camera lens. We're seeing a rain-snow mix fall here in the city with our temperature hovering right around the freezing mark. We've got 0 in Stony Plain and at the airport. Elk Island 1 here in the city, 1 degree. Winds on the light side, but starting to pick up. Expecting a bit of a breeze as we go throughout the afternoon, and then windier this evening. Temperatures within the city coming in at 1 and 2 in Beverly. As we go throughout the day today, our temperature will hover between 1 and 2 degrees. And we will see that rain-snow mix as we go throughout the day today. Breezy this afternoon, a little bit windier this evening, and then things taper out late afternoon into the evening. Tomorrow, -8 to start. Might see a few flurries early day, and our temperature drops off throughout the day, -13 into the afternoon. Saturday, -70 to start, -13 for a high, and then we do see a bit of a warm-up. By Monday, we could be around the freezing mark with temperatures on the milder side through Tuesday and Wednesday. After that, we do see another drop in our temperature. So still continuing to see this up and down pattern as we go throughout the next 5 and 10 days. But again, for today, breezy, rain-snow mix. Just be very careful out there. The roads and sidewalks do have the potential to become quite slippery, especially as we see our temperature drop off into tomorrow.
Yeah, thank you, Corey. Let's take a closer look at the roads. This is Stony Plain Road in 170th Street, so you can see that sort of accumulating on the sidewalks and the median there. The roads, though, still slushy, so just be aware of the conditions. Know what you're up against as you head out there. Traffic seemingly to move smoothly through there, but look at the red on the map. And some of this may just be people driving to the conditions and slowing down, but it is indeed slow out there. Almost all the way around the Henday is slower than normal. signal. A lot of red on the west, the southwest, the north, and the southeast. The Yellowhead is also slow this morning, as well as the White Mud Fox Drive area. So once again, as we all get used to driving in the winter again, it's going to be slow to get where you need to go this morning. All right, let's check in with our holiday song bracket. Today we have 2 songs that are character-based, associated with a cartoon. We'll get to that in a moment, but first, one Christmas staple is gone from the bracket after your votes yesterday. It was Jingle Bells against Santa Claus is Coming to Town, and Santa Claus moves on. Jingle Bells is done.
Interesting.
Silenced for this year.
Huh. I find that interesting. Well, one had to be a winner.
Sure.
But I find them very similar as far as how they hit me. They're not up there on my list.
You don't feel confident Santa Claus is Coming to Town will move much further than the second round? I don't think so either, but it's all up to you. It's not up to us. So have your vote, including today's matchup, which is a good one.
Yes, 2 protagonists in their own story, but who will take the hero's journey to the next matchup? We have Frosty the Snowman up against Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. So both quite fun, the songs, similar-ish. This one could be a toss-up as well. I think I like Frosty a little bit more.
I think I like Frosty as well. Kim really likes Frosty the Snowman, so she's hoping for that one to move on.
Yeah, don't let us sway your votes.
Well, I was just about to say, but Rudolph, though, it's, you know, pretty ubiquitous, and you can add your own fun lyrics if you want to, which is also kind of fun. It's, you know, Batman and Robin and all that sort of stuff.
And then there's Olive.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. So
the other reindeer?
Of course. Yeah, sure. Sure. So it's up to you, everybody. Text Frosty to 10400 if you want Frosty to move on. Rudolph, if you want Rudolph to go on. Just check your spelling on Rudolph with the PH.
Yeah, I don't know how common that is in
You just want to make sure that you're getting your votes in. All caps does help with the autocorrect there too. So yeah, have your say on the text line. Speaking of the text line, it's heating up in Remember That Thing. We're going to get to more on that in the next couple of minutes, so stay with us.
Programming brought to you by Basement Systems Edmonton. Contact us today for all things basement-y. Programming brought to you by James H. Brown Injury Lawyers, the heavy hitters of injury law.
Make-A-Wish Canada has made the start of the holiday season a little more special for 15 children this week. The Fantasyland Hotel hosting the 2nd annual Trees of Joy event. The children surprised with the unveiling of the holiday trees decorated to reflect each one of their unique interests and favorite things. Organizers say the event is all about bringing donors and the kids they help together.
It helps to kick off the season, but it helps to remind them that the Wish kids that are in our community are their neighbors. It is their kid's best friend. It is a family member's child. It's for them to see that wishes are real.
Each of the 15 families will now have their tree delivered to their home, which is very fun. Giving feels good, doesn't it? And you can do that today and help us build a mountain of toys in hopes of making Christmas morning more special for thousands of kids in our community. And we can't do without the help of our wonderful supporters. Kim is live at Sentinel Storage. Good morning, Kim. How's it going down there?
Pretty good. Yeah, we keep asking them, do you want to come on board? And Sentinel Storage is always like, yes, yes, yes. Every time we say, it's for BGC, Big Brothers, Big Sisters of Edmonton and area, they're like, absolutely, we're going to be a part of this. I'm joined by Assistant Store Manager Laura. Good morning, Laura.
Good morning.
So why is this time of year so special to you to be on board with Toy Mountain?
Well, we are always a fan of giving back. Once we heard it was Big Brothers, Big Sisters of Edmonton, we were like, this is the time to give back to our community, make sure those kids get those toys.
We have some toy drop-offs. How have donations been so far?
We've been very lucky. A lot of people keep giving and giving. We always recommend, you know, the little ones always get toys, but think of those teenagers that, you know, they deserve a nice Christmas as well.
We were just talking during commercial break. You said that you're a Christmas girly. A lot of your employees are. How do you celebrate Christmas, the holiday season at Sentinel?
Well, we do a contest every year of who has the best decorating box. I've been lucky enough that ours have won this year.
Humble brag.
Humble brag. So, you know, I always recommend come check it out because it's a nice little winter wonderland theme.
I heard that some things are like suspended from the roof.
Absolutely.
Wow.
Some wreath from the roofs and big nutcracker. You can always stand up next to it and see if you're taller than it is.
Yeah. And which one is that location at?
The Argyle location on 99 and 63rd Avenue.
Excellent. So if you want to come see that, bring a toy to donate because there's actually incentive here at Sentinel Storage if you donate. And what is that?
Absolutely. So for every toy you donate, you get a ballot for a chance to win a free year of storage.
Amazing. Fantastic. Thank you so much, Laura. We're going to talk to you again soon and see some of the toys that you can donate for each age category. So remember, bring a new unwrapped toy to any Sentinel Storage location or Trail Appliances location until December 19th. Happy holidays, everyone.
Thank you very much, Kim. Still ahead, a set of 16 books that used to cost 39 cents. One of the hottest Christmas gifts one year. We look at the Sears Wish book from back in the day and guessing what year this is from. That's after the break.
Here's a look at your snow report. Snow Valley here in the city, 60-centimeter base. They've been making the snow there, and it's been growing quite nicely. Marmot Basin, no new snow, but the base is sitting at about 45 centimeters. Lake Louise, 1 centimeter in the last 24 hours. 79-centimeter base there. As we take a look at Sunshine Village, they're sitting at a base of 91 centimeters. Just below that is Nikiska, 57 centimeters, and Norquay, a cool 33.
Snow Report, brought to you by Snow Valley Ski Club. Opening soon. Programming brought to you by A Very Merry Pops with your Edmonton Symphony Orchestra. Learn more at winspearcenter.com.
All right, so last year we started a holiday game involving the Sears Wish book. Huge hit with you at home on the text line, so we're doing it again.
Huge hit today already. Yeah. Kim is on location, so she set this up for us. We're going to show you pages from an issue of the Wish book, and we have to guess the year.
So here's the cover, and notice that the catalog says Christmas book, not Wish book. Sears did not adopt the name until 1968, even though it was widely known as the Wish book for decades before that. So keep that in mind.
Yeah. Here's a preview of some books. Back then, this 16-pack could be purchased for just 39 cents.
Wow. And check out these Pan-American candies made from pure cane sugar. Pop these in your mouth, listen to the Bob Hope Show, maybe Abbott and Costello on the radio.
Okay. And every man needs a handkerchief for the holiday season, especially if you want to look as slick as Bing Crosby.
And here's a look at some of the perfumes and cosmetics for the lady in your life. Popular brands at this time include Coty, Max Factor, and Ayer.
I don't know.
Maybe?
If you're looking to spruce up your home, check this out. A Chia Pet or a window shelf plant holder clocking in at 225%.
I didn't know Chia Pets were that old.
Totally. Yeah.
Interesting. Well, the holidays are all about the kids, of course. So we have a tea set, a freight train for 89 cents, and a bowling alley with stand for $1.10. Some toys that are not pictured on the page but were invented this year include the Slinky and Silly Putty.
Oh, I could have Googled those. I didn't.
No. We've
that
protected the sanctity of the game.
Yes.
And so many of you have been texting in the year. So going to give you another moment to text at 10400 to text in your guess. But we will guess now.
I am lost on this one. I'm going 58.
1958. I think it is 19. The color pictures is really...
Yeah, or 62. 1958 or 1962.
What? No, you can't do that.
I did it.
Okay, how about this? You take one, I'll take the other one.
I'll take 62.
Okay, I'm going to take 58 then, which is the scraps, of course. Yes.
Yeah.
That's what we're going.
43.
1943. No. See, I knew it. Bob Hope being during the war. I thought it was earlier, but
I just didn't think it'd be in color that
look
early.
at us go. Look at us go with the technology.
Wow.
From earlier this morning, texting in, winners include Dell, Eddie, Brad, Christy, Kim, Dee, Randy, Tara, Lynn, Colleen, Rachel, Pat, and Nancy, among so many other guesses.
43.
Wow.
Chipheads are old.
We are really remembering those things
Yeah, totally.
way back.
I guess I forgot.
Today. Shout out to everybody who's been playing along on the text line. We're going to do this again next Thursday because it is a fun one. It's time for us to take a break. We'll be right back.
Your Morning Edmonton's Kitchen, provided by Trail Appliances and KitchenAid. School Day Forecast is brought to you by the Alberta Teachers Association. Strong schools equal a strong Alberta.
7:57. Take a look at your screen. Raindrops on the camera lens right now. We are seeing a rain-snow mix fall here in the city. So far, I haven't been able to find any collisions on Edmonton roads. With that said, though, doesn't mean the roads are great. Traffic has slowed quite a bit, but just be careful out there. Our temperature just above the freezing mark. We are sitting at 1. We're in a warm pocket of air. To the northeast, Fort McMurray -9, Fort Chipewyan -12. We'll tap into that colder air heading into tomorrow. Here's your school day forecast brought to you by the Alberta Teachers Association. Stronger schools equals a stronger Alberta. Our temperature today hovering around 1 and 2 degrees. As we go throughout the day, a bit of a rain-snow mix on and off. We're seeing that right now. Wind will pick up, a bit breezy throughout the afternoon and then windier this evening. And then temperatures drop off for tomorrow. -8 to start, -13 tomorrow afternoon with a chance of flurries. Saturday, -17, -13 for a high, and then -6 on Sunday. We start to warm, 0 on Monday. Through the mid part of next week, temperatures not that bad, but then they drop off once again. So we see these temperatures, this pattern, go up and down as we go throughout the next 10 days. But again, for today, be very careful out there. A rain-snow mix, 1 to 2 degrees, and then our temperature drops off, so it could even be slipperier for tomorrow morning.
Milestones, brought to you by Coolman's Flower Shop. Colorful, fresh designs for any occasion.
Wishing a G a happy 62nd birthday. Love from your wife.
And a happy 2nd birthday to sweet Diego. Love from Mama, Papa, Giorgio, and the whole family in Italy.
And Angus is turning 17. Happy birthday. Love Mom, Dad, Penny, George, Trey, Libby, and Scales.
Submit your milestone at ctvedmonton.ca under Your Morning. You could win a $100 gift card to Coolman's Greenhouse, which we draw for every week.
Time for Morning Mystery. This animated character was born on an ordinary day in a small town called Armonk, New York. Was voiced by comedian Jackie Vernon. And the number of fingers he has changes in one scene after he becomes alive. He has 5 fingers while counting to 100 or to 10. But in the next shot, he's down to 4 fingers. Did you get it? You can kind of see him in the background. It is Frosty the Snowman. The news you need to start your day begins right now.
Much like Frosty's fingers on Thursday, December 4th.
This money should have been available to school boards at the beginning of the school year.
The province is touting an investment in school mental health support, while advocates say it's far from enough.
We feel like she doesn't have a connection. She's not from here. She doesn't have a history with us.
The latest recall petition campaign targets the Premier.
Last 2 games he's played incredibly well.
I think those are some really good games that we can go off of and just continue. And if we do, I think we're putting ourselves in a really good spot.
The Oilers with praise for goaltender Stuart Skinner as the team focuses on the remaining 4 games of their homestand, looking for a win tonight. Your morning starts right now. o'clock here on your Thursday morning. City Council is expected to finalize next year's tax increase today. The mayor vowing to hold it at or below 6.4%, translating to an extra $230 for the average homeowner. Now, yesterday, Council agreed to borrow $11 million to give to the city's tourism body, Explore Edmonton.
I think everyone agreed that starting next year, we need to provide that stable long-term funding for Explore. So it would be coming on the tax roll, presumably next year anyway.
Councillors have debated a variety of cuts to trim the tax increase, $14 million worth on the capital side, including putting off demolishing the Argyle Velodrome and deferring new bike racks for buses. None of those cuts approved, however. On the operating side, there was nearly $8 million in proposed cuts, including holding back $2 million earmarked for vandalism response. Council trimmed just $440,000. Council approved $25 million on one capital item, which is 25 new buses. That will not be on the books until 2027. Councillors are still debating $38 million in new operating money. Along with the money for Explore Edmonton, they approved a $3 million top-up for disabled transit.
This is just keeping up with the growth. Now that the ridership is at an all-time high for DATS, it's 6% higher than it's ever been before. Not approving that funding would have resulted in a service level decrease for people using DATS, and that was unacceptable.
Other proposed spending still on the table include $6 million for more peace officers, $500,000 for the info liaison team, and $3 million for enhanced bus and transit cleaning. Well, the province now has details for student mental health support. The multi-million-dollar investment was already set aside in this year's budget. The opposition NDP and education advocates say it does not address what teachers have been fighting for. CTV's Nicole Lampa is live with the latest on this. So, Nicole, if this money was part of this year's budget, why is the province just now revealing the details?
Kent, the education minister says there was no right time for this announcement, saying, there was the budget in the spring and then the summer break. Bargaining was going on with the teachers and then the strike, which is now why we're just getting details on this $69 million student mental health grant.
Up to 20% of the grant can be allocated by school boards for personalized individual supports, like specialized counseling, psychologists, or behaviorists, and other specialized assessments.
The goal is to create customizable funding to improve mental health in schools. This includes staff training, external support navigators, wellness coaches, as well as specialized mental health classrooms beyond the government's goal of adding 60 by 2027. Up to 20% can be used on individualized supports. The Alberta Teachers Association stresses this is not new money teachers wanted when they went on strike for 3 weeks, and that the grant should have been implemented back in September. The opposition NDP calls it a Band-Aid solution.
And we need to see government act in a timely fashion. This is money that was previously announced in Budget 2025, and we're just getting a re-announcement of this here in December of 2025 under the guise of, well, we're going to address the complex needs.
And they're making things up as they go along. The minister has been saying lately that he's just figured out that complexity is an issue. Well, we've known that for many, many, many years.
The province says this grant will go directly to school boards, who will then decide how to spend the money based on individual school needs. Kent.
Okay, Nicole, thank you. A recall campaign has been launched against Premier Danielle Smith, according to documents sent to CTV News by petition organizers. The recall drive in the Premier's Brooks Medicine Hat riding has been approved by Elections Alberta. Petition organizers say the effort stems from concerns about her lack of connection to the community and her use of the notwithstanding clause.
I feel like my voice and the voices of my neighbors aren't being heard. I feel like our MLA she's rarely seen in the community. She's not seen in the community. We feel like she doesn't have a connection. She's not from here. She doesn't have a history with us.
Elections Alberta has not posted the petition or any statement from Smith in response to it on its website, and the Premier's office has not responded to a CTV News request for comment. The UCP caucus says the recall process should not be used to overturn elections because of disagreements with government policy. To trigger a recall vote for the Premier, 12,070 signatures are required. 14 other UCP MLAs face active recall efforts. The Alberta Health Services CEO is currently on leave from his position. AHS confirming the leave, but will not reveal why. Andre Tremblay was appointed CEO after Athana Mentzelopoulos was fired in January. Tremblay also acted as official administrator when the AHS board was fired. The province says in the interim, those roles will be now handled by Aaron O'Neill. All right, let's bring Corey in for a look at the forecast and just more and more of that buildup of the snow and the rain, and it's just wet.
It is. We're seeing that on our camera lens. We've got a lot of raindrops. Some of this falling as a rain-snow mix right now over the city. And expecting that to be the case as we go throughout the day today. Our temperature hovering right around the freezing mark, just above. As we take a look at our almanac for today, our highs too. That was already reached a couple hours ago. We could see our temperature hover between 0 and 2 degrees as we go throughout the day today. As we take a look at the current satellite radar, it looks like out towards Seba Beach, a bit of a break from the rain-snow mix. We're seeing that here in the city. We're seeing it all the way up towards Athabasca, just south of Slave Lake, east and west of the city, and then down south towards Red Deer. So highways to the east, west, north, and south could be very poor. The conditions mostly wet, but there could be some sections that are very slick, so you want to be careful out there. 1 degree right now, rain, snow mix, wind light. The wind will pick up, a bit breezy today. We will see that rain, snow mix as we go throughout this Thursday. Temperature kind of hovering between 0 and 2 degrees for the day today. Gusty throughout the evening, and then wind light tomorrow. -8 to start tomorrow, -13 into the afternoon. Chance of flurries, and then -70 to start Saturday, a high of -13. I have your 5 and 10 day forecast coming up a little bit later on. It's that festive time again, and we are celebrating with our Holiday Cheer House of the Year contest. Just send us a picture of your outdoor holiday display, and you could win $500 cash. Enter at ctvedmonton.ca or follow the QR code on your screen. Happy holidays. Kent.
Thank you, Corey. Here's a closer look at the commute and that shine on the roads. White Mud Drive and 149th Street. Looks like everybody is going along just fine right there. But throughout the city, it is slow. We've got a couple crashes to tell you about as well. Eastbound on the Henday, north of Y Road, there is a crash. Also eastbound on the East Henday, southbound, south of Y Road. So around Y Road, both directions on the Henday, there are crashes, which is going to cause delay for people traveling through there. It's also slow through many of the major commuter routes, the Yellowhead, the West White Mud, Fox Drive, Gateway Boulevard, the White Mud East around 50th Street and 75th, Southwest White Mud, the West White Mud, so West Henday rather. So just again, going to be another slow one on the roads for the morning commute because of the conditions and everybody just taking it easy, trying to get where they need to go safely. Well, we are building a mountain of toys in hopes of making Christmas morning a little more special for thousands of kids in our community. Can't do it without the help of wonderful supporters, and Kim is with some of them this morning at Sentinel Storage. Good morning, Kim.
Good morning, Ken. And before we get into Toy Mountain, I heard that you and Corey guessed like a decade off for the Sears Wish
Hey, that
book.
was hard. That was so hard. Who knew there was color in 1943?
Tricky, right?
What are we doing here?
I know. I can't wait to play again next week. But yeah, this is the season of giving, of course. Sentinel Storage has always been a fantastic supporter of Toy Mountain. I'm here with store manager Kush. Good morning, Kush. Good to see you again. And you're in the festive season with me too.
Oh, yes.
People are donating toys to these locations. Thank you so much to everybody who's been doing that so far. What have they been donating?
They have been donating all type of toys. Usually for the younger kids, I believe when it comes to toys, they do think of younger kids, but I would encourage everyone to donate for the teens as well. We just want them off their phones, do donate like board games so that they can sit with the family, play games, and lift up the holiday spirit.
For sure. So we're looking for like pre-teen age and teenager, but of course we will accept anything.
We appreciate all type of toys, honestly.
I wanted to remind everybody, we actually have an Amazon wish list on the ctvedmonton.ca website. If you're not too sure exactly what to choose, we do have some older, for the older kids, some toys and some items there. For Sentinel Storage, how have you guys been celebrating the holiday season?
Oh my God, the spirit has been so lifted up. and Sentinel Storage is pleased to donate 5,000 check to Big Brothers and Big Sisters and the community. So we are just all putting out together and making the spirit, Holy Spirit, rise.
Yeah, people have been donating anyways, but there is more incentive this year to donate to Sentinel Storage specifically.
Yes. So every toy you donate, you do enter a ballot where you get the chance to win a free storage for a year.
Yes, that's substantial. That is substantial. Kush, thank you so much for joining us this morning and looking festive. We appreciate it. Remember to donate a new unwrapped toy to any Sentinel Storage location or Trail Appliances location until December 19th. Happy holidays.
Here's a look at your Edmonton gas prices. Not changing from yesterday. The average gas cost still $1.16.1. The highest gas price still $1.25.9. What has changed is the lowest gas price up just slightly. The cheapest gas station, the Costco on 149th Street, selling at $104.9.
Gas prices brought to you by Action Furnace. Fixed right or it's free. Help us build a mountain of toys. Donate today at ctvedmonton.ca.
We're in the Trail Appliances kitchen, which is celebrating with us today National Cookie Day. Lindsay James, corporate chef at Trail Appliances, is here to share a decadent recipe for brown butter chocolate chip cookies. Good morning to you.
Good morning.
So is this a bit of a different play on chocolate chip cookies?
Yeah, so this is actually a very close friend of mine. It's her recipe, and I've taken it, and I am very fortunate to be making it now every day at Trail Appliances, but it's a brown butter chocolate chip cookie, and then you finish it off with a little bit of Malden salt here.
Okay.
Yeah, so Malden salt is just like a really coarse, flaky salt. I was just mentioning that it kind of looks like really tiny little pyramids.
Very cool.
But it adds a really nice crunch to the cookie and a little bit of a savoriness.
Okay, and then the brown butter part of the cookie, how does that work?
So basically, you usually have butter in a cookie recipe. What you're doing with this is you're actually browning the butter. You're taking the milk solids and caramelizing them, and then letting it cool, and then adding it back in to the cookie recipe once it's cooled down.
Okay, so should we get started, or what have you done so far?
So in here I've got the butter, the brown butter, creamed with 2 types of sugar, brown and white sugar. I've got some eggs and some vanilla, but let's go ahead and add our dry ingredients. In here I've got flour, salt, baking soda, and baking powder.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's pretty classic as far as a cookie recipe is concerned.
It's super classic. It's super easy, but the brown butter and the Malden salt just really add that extra touch. So,
okay, sounds good.
So let's get going here. Just on a lower speed. We're going to add this in 3 additions.
Okay.
So
just bit by bit, and that just helps it mix a little bit better.
Yeah, you bet.
And so you do regular cooking at Trail Appliances at the South location?
I do regular cooking. I do regular baking. We always got to scrape down the sides of our bowl really quick here.
Yeah.
But yeah, my job is quite unique. I do Saturday cooking classes. They haven't quite started up yet.
Okay.
But come the new year, those will be going.
Okay.
And then I do a lot of brunches and lunches for builders inside of Trail.
Very cool.
Yeah, along with that, I do pass-arounds.
Okay.
Kind of like the opposite of Costco. I come to you.
You bring the food to them.
Yeah, exactly, and just make the shopping experience that much more fun. So
very cool.
I'm going to go ahead and add this.
Okay, and while you're adding that, Toy Mountain, we're trying to build a mountain of toys. You guys are taking in donations, and yeah, what can people bring down?
Honestly, you can bring any toy you'd like.
Okay.
Or a money donation as well.
Okay.
All of it goes to the Boys and Girls Club. So.
And why do you think that's such an important thing to help out with around this time of year?
So I have a son, and I think it's just so important to be giving back and helping out when we can.
Yeah.
So, especially at this time of the year.
Oh, for sure.
So Trail is taking donations for all of November and December.
Okay.
So yeah, you guys can come anytime.
Perfect.
And we'll be there. We'll be accepting those donations, and yeah.
Okay, so you've got the dry ingredients in.
Yeah, dry ingredients are in. We're going to mix this just until the flour is incorporated.
Okay, and then we're going to add in the chocolate chips.
We're going to add this crazy amount of chocolate chips.
Nice.
So
that is a good amount. Perfect. Okay, this is going to be an awesome cookie recipe.
Yeah.
While she's adding those in, we're going to take a little bit of a break and come back with the finished cookies.
Help us build a mountain of toys. Donate today at ctvedmonton.ca.
8:21, you're taking a live look through the Action Furnace River Valley Skycam. Action Furnace, fixed right or it's free. We are sitting at 1. Still have some raindrops on the camera lens. We've been seeing a rain-snow mix falling here in the city, and that'll be the case as we go throughout the day. We're in a warmer pocket of air. The cold air is to the north up towards Fort McMurray, -10, Fort Chipewyan, -12. We're going to tap into that tomorrow. But for today, still a little bit on the warmer side. Our temperature hanging around anywhere from 0 to 2 degrees throughout the day today. Slave Lake towards Westlock, starting to see things ease a little bit, but the satellite radar kind of showing a bit of a rain-snow mix in those areas. That's what we're seeing here in the Edmonton area right now. This is falling all the way down towards Red Deer and east to the Saskatchewan border. As we go throughout the day today, that'll be the case, and it will continue to fall. It becomes a little bit more broken as we get into the late part of the afternoon and evening, and then just a slight chance of flurries as we go throughout tomorrow. But for today, our temperature, 1, 2 degrees. We're not going to see much of a change. A rain-snow mix throughout the day today. Winds will pick up. It'll be a little bit breezy this afternoon and windy this evening, and then temperatures drop for tomorrow. I'll talk about that next time we chat weather.
Hello there, Kara Waglin in the Sports Center newsroom with your must-see moment from Wednesday. And for it, we are off to Milwaukee, where the Bucks are hosting the Pistons. Miles Turner just going at the rim, throws one down. He woke up this morning and he chose some violence. A huge slam for the Bucks center.
Put some hot sauce on that beef.
Puts Isaiah Stewart, tried to block him. Instead, he ends up on the wrong side of that one. It's your must-see moment from Wednesday. And coming up tonight on TSN, we kick off Week 14 in the NFL. We got the Cowboys and Lions going head-to-head. Coverage for that one gets underway at 7 Eastern at 4 Pacific. That's all for now from Sports Center. Have a great day.
TSN Must-See Moment, brought to you by Century Casino. 3 great locations, Edmonton, St. Albert, and Century Mile.
We are back in the Trail Appliances kitchen celebrating National Cookie Day. Lindsay, how have the brown cookies been coming along so far?
So really good. I just took them out of the oven and plated them up. A little bit of flaky salt just on the top there.
Did you put that on after or just before?
Yeah, you put it on after.
Okay.
I find that it just works better. Sometimes it melts when you put it on before.
Okay.
But yeah, so what I've got here is the cookies just on the pan, and then I just flatten them just a little bit.
Okay.
And then you got to put them in the fridge for at least an hour.
Okay.
Or you can freeze them. And then,
what does that do?
It just really firms up that butter. We want to bake from a cold state so that we're not. They're already a really flat cookie. They're crispy on the outside and nice and soft and chewy on the inside.
Ooh, that sounds
nice. My
nice.
personal favorite way to have a cookie.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so solidifying that butter is really important. So,
okay.
Yeah.
So can I take one of the cookies?
Please.
Just grab up
yeah,
there.
Go for it. So.
Oh yeah, they're a lot softer than they look at first.
Yeah, so they're nice and chewy. So
it sounds. I'm going to try that in a short bit. You did mention that you have cooking classes coming up.
Yeah.
What type of classes are those?
So right now, so come January is when we're getting ready to go on those. But it'll be every Saturday from I believe 11 to 1:30.
Okay.
Just going over some really basic recipes that customers can take home and use. But the class is actually mostly about convection cooking.
Okay.
Yeah, and so a cool thing with Trail is that if you buy a convection product, whether that's a range or a stove, like wall oven, we give you a voucher for a complimentary class.
That's so cool.
Yeah, it's really like, it's a nice perk to have for sure, because a lot of the time you buy an appliance, you take it home, and you have that air fry setting, and you never use it. Nobody ever like really wonders, oh, well.
Yeah, I'm guilty of that. I have the bake and then the bake convection. I don't know the difference.
Yeah, and there's a huge difference, and so that's kind of where I am stepping into that world, I guess, to make things more clear and really clarify any questions that anyone has.
Do you guys have any promotions coming up or up right now?
Yeah, so we're actually in the middle of Black Friday. We have our Black Friday sale going on all the way until December 10th.
Okay.
And honestly, we're seeing some of the best prices that we've seen all year.
Nice.
So yeah.
So if you're in the market for a new appliance, now would be the time. And if people wanted your recipes, they can just go to Instagram. Is that where they can find them?
A lot of the time, I just have people who are on the floor, that come up to me, and I am happy to share recipes because that's a big part of cooking, right? So.
Yeah, you want to share the joy. And these cookies look amazing. They're nice and soft. I'm going to dive into one. I want to thank you so much for coming in this morning. Fantastic to leave all these cookies for us as well.
Yeah, nice treat. So.
Thank you so much. For more recipe ideas, follow Trail Appliances on Instagram at trail_ABSK.
Your Morning Edmonton's Kitchen, provided by Trail Appliances and KitchenAid.
Good morning. It is just about 8:30 here on Thursday morning. Hopefully you're off to a great start to your day. It's a little wet, it's a little mucky out there, but, you know, you got to handle it as it comes, and a little cookie in the belly after that. Corey, put a pep in your step, won't it?
Oh, it will. I can't get that cookie. It was tasty. Maybe it's the salt on top as well, but I'm going to have to try that when I make some cookies. Outside, though, trying to make your way. It's been a little bit tricky today. Very slow going, which is good. Bit of a rain-snow mix as we go throughout the day. Our temperature, we've been hovering just above the freezing mark, so a little bit on the warmer side, but a big temperature drop for tomorrow. I'll explain it all in about 6 minutes. Ken.
Thank you, Corey. The province touts it as an investment for students' mental health support, while the opposition NDP and education advocates say the multi-million-dollar grant isn't new money and does not address what teachers have been fighting for. CTV's Nicole Lampa has more on all of this for us this morning. So, Nicole, if this money was already announced, what's new?
Kent, the education minister says that the money will now go towards school boards, and they will get to decide how the funding is spent based on individual school needs.
The government of Alberta is providing $69 million over 3 years for the Mental Health and Wellbeing Grant.
The goal is to create customizable funding to improve mental health in schools. This includes staff training, external support navigators, wellness coaches, as well as specialized mental health classrooms beyond the government's goal of adding 60 by 2027. Up to 20% can be used on individualized supports. The Alberta Teachers Association stresses this is not new money teachers were fighting for during the 3-week strike, and that the grant should have been implemented back in September.
This money should have been available to school boards at the beginning of the school year, not finding ourselves in December, post-job action, now trying to make it look like they are addressing some of the complex needs that we've already been talking about in our classrooms for years.
And the education minister says schools now have to submit a report each year on how the money is being spent and the impact it has on student well-being. Kent.
Okay, Nicole, thank you. Now, the education minister also says an announcement on a childcare deal with Ottawa is coming in the next couple of weeks.
So we do have some news to share in that regard, so I will save that for another day. But yes, we do have some information to share to Albertans regarding continuation of childcare agreement, and I'll be happy to share that in, I think, about a couple of weeks when we have another podium scheduled.
So back in April, the province established a flat monthly childcare fee for parents equivalent to $15 per day. New rules limit the number of for-profit daycares that can receive federal funding. Ottawa and Alberta signed a deal agreeing to further lower fees to $10 per day by March of next year. A Calgary teenager has been accused of using artificial intelligence to create child sex abuse and exploitation material. Police say AI technology was used to sexualize photos of girls from different high schools around Calgary. A 17-year-old is facing charges of making, possessing, and distributing child sexual abuse and exploitation material, along with criminal harassment. Police are not identifying any of the schools involved because it may identify victims or the accused. And an Alberta teen is one of the first pediatric patients to receive a groundbreaking transplant surgery. 16-year-old Raiden Delaney is one of 2 Canadians receiving a robot-assisted kidney transplant. This surgery was first performed on 20 adult patients at the University of Alberta Hospital last year. The robotic arm makes smaller incisions for a minimally invasive approach. The surgeon says demand for this procedure in other provinces is now growing. And the Edmonton Oilers return to home ice tonight against Seattle. The next 4 games are at Rogers Place, the team hoping to string together some wins. They've only allowed 1 goal in the past 2 games. Stuart Skinner with a shutout in Seattle Saturday, and then allowing just 1 goal against Tuesday night against Minnesota. Despite that, though, the Oilers have just 1 win to show for it. At practice yesterday, head coach Chris Knobloch had praise for the goaltender.
Last 2 games he's played incredibly well. And anytime goaltender's playing well, he covers up mistakes, and because certainly there were mistakes and we gave up some chances, but when their save is made, it's easily to you can forget about the mistake, and it's not amplified so much.
Honestly, last 2 games have been great. I think those are some really good games that we can go off of and just continue, and if we do, I think we're putting ourselves in a really good spot.
Puck drop tonight, 7 o'clock. The team also announcing its annual skills competition will be February 1st. Tickets go on sale tomorrow at 10 o'clock.
Taking a live look through the River Valley Skycam, raindrops on the camera lens. We're seeing rain and a rain-snow mix fall here in the city. On the screen there, you can see a few flurries flying by. So, mixed precipitation, a lot of that just melting on contact on the roads, but it could be creating some slick spots. I noticed there are a number of collisions that have been starting to add up over the last half hour. So we'll talk about that a little bit later on. Right now, Stony Plain 1, 0 at the airport, 0 Elk Island, 1 at the Blatchford Station, and 0 in Namao. Winds on the light side, but the wind will pick up, a little bit breezy as we go throughout the day today. All locations within the city that are reporting are coming in at 1. We might make it back to 2. For today, our temperature hovering between 1 and 2 degrees. Rain snow mix throughout the day. Start to tapering as we go throughout the late afternoon and evening, breaking up a little bit, and then our temperature drops for tomorrow morning. -8 to start, but then -13 tomorrow afternoon, slight chance of flurries. -17 to start Saturday, -13 for a high, and then we start a warm-up. By Monday, we could be sitting around the freezing mark. So this up and down pattern continues through the 5 and 10-day forecast. I'll touch on your 10-day forecast coming up in 15 minutes. The Art of Banksy Without Limits is in Edmonton for a limited time after its incredible worldwide success. Explore 200 of the artist's works, such as his original art, prints, photos, and sculptures. Enter for a chance to win a pair of VIP passes at ctvedmonton.ca. Kent.
Thank you, Corey. Let's take a look at the commute. As you mentioned, more collisions to tell you about. East Henday southbound before the Yellowhead, there's a crash. East Henday southbound north of 34th Avenue overpass as well. East Henday north of Y Road and East Henday south of Y Road. It is tricky on the East Henday right now. 63rd Avenue and 91st Street, there was also a crash. Slow moving in other sections of the city, including the Yellowhead, the West Henday, the Southwest, Gateway Boulevard, White Mud, Fox Drive as well. It's just a slow drive this morning once again. Well, we are building a mountain of toys in hopes of making Christmas morning special for thousands of kids, and we can't do it without wonderful support in the community. Kim is live at Sentinel Storage this morning. What's going on now, Kim?
Yeah, not is only Sentinel Storage a drop-off location, but the good folks here have donated $5,000. All of it goes to BGC, Big Brothers Big Sisters of Edmonton and area. So a huge thank you to everybody here at Sentinel Storage. Hi, Laura. Welcome back.
Thank you.
So how have donations been going so far at all of the locations?
To be honest, we had a lot of donations. We're very, very lucky that people just keep bringing stuff. Sometimes they don't even know about our lovely competition that's going on. So the more toys you bring, the more ballots you get to win 1 year free of storage.
Did you hear that? So every toy that you donate, wait, is it for every toy, or is it just the one person who comes?
For every toy.
So you can get multiple toys and up your chances to win that 1 year of free storage. Excellent. How is Sentinel Storage celebrating the holiday season? I hear that there's a little bit of competition on your own through each of the store locations.
Exactly. So for every box we decorate, there's a competition. So the better the decoration, the great chances. So you can always check out all the different stores to see all the different decorations each store has done. And then ours on Argyle location has won this year. So we're very, very excited.
Congratulations. What does it look like?
Well, it's a little bit of a winter wonderland theme. Lights coming out of the ceiling, a wreath hanging out of the ceiling as well. So some maybe deers you'll see, like in Nutcracker. So I always say, come check it out, but don't forget to bring a toy with you.
Right, don't give it too much away because we want people to come down to the location and see. What was that location again?
The Argyle location on 99th Street and 63rd Avenue.
Excellent. Girls, thank you so much for having me down today. We really appreciate it. Happy holidays.
Happy holidays to you too.
So remember, you can bring a new unwrapped toy to any Sentinel Storage location, as people have done. Look at all the donations here already. Any Sentinel Storage location or Trail Appliances location until December 19th. We also have the Amazon wish list on ctvedmonton.ca.
All right, thank you, Kim. Well, new research shows that cold weather may contribute to catching a cold or a flu, but maybe not the way you think. For tips to keep us healthy over the holidays, we're joined by family physician Dr. Stephanie Liu, also known as Dr. Mom. So this is interesting stuff. How can the cold make us sick?
Yes, so it's not that the cold weather causes viruses, but instead when it's really cold, it causes our nose's natural immune defense to weaken, which allows those viruses to get in and make us sick. And when it's really cold outside, people are more likely to be indoors, and when people are indoors close together, viruses spread more easily.
So it's not in the traditional sense of like, oh, don't get out in the cold because you'll get sick, but there are factors, environmental factors regarding the cold that can contribute.
Exactly.
Interesting, very interesting stuff. Now, holiday time is a very fun time of the year. You're getting together, but it's also stressful. You're running around. You're at all these kinds of different events. Can stress also play a factor in illness at the holiday time?
Yes. So when people are under emotional stress, there's studies that show that it can actually weaken the immune system. And they've done studies to look at, both acute stress and chronic stress. And they found that both, whether it's short-term or long-term, it weakens the immune system and increases your likelihood of getting viruses like the rhinovirus or also even coronavirus. And we know that long-term chronic stress is really bad for us because it weakens the immune system, and so you're more likely to get sick. And when you get sick, it can be even more severe illness.
Interesting, and more stressful if you're missing out on events or things that you've been looking forward to because you got sick because you were stressed out. So we can just relax, everybody. Take care of yourself. Now, this is an interesting one, too, because kids are often outside. They're running around. They get hot in the jacket. They keep the toque on because most heat escapes from your head. Is that true?
Okay, you know what? I was one of those kids wearing the little toque and a t-shirt walking around thinking I was totally protecting myself from the cold, even though I felt cold. And so that's actually a myth, okay? We lose heat from our skin surface. And so our head only accounts for about 8 to 10% of our body's total surface area. So we lose on typical situations about 8 to 10% of our heat from our head. But let's say it's a cold day, we're all bundled up from all the way down, neck down, but just our head is exposed, then we can lose more heat.
Right, of course, because you don't have your head covered.
Yeah.
Okay, so cover everything, everybody out there, as it starts to get colder starting tomorrow. And then people trying to get outside and enjoy the weather, even if it is cold, but worried about taking their babies out there. And the play can be to wrap them up, bundle them up very tightly, many layers. Does that help them to be that bundled up in the cold?
Yeah, so it's kind of confusing because definitely when you go outside, you want your child to be warm. But a lot of times there's a risk of actually over bundling. So we normally recommend that whatever an adult's wearing, just add one extra layer. And that's because babies aren't as good at regulating their temperature as adults. So they're at increased risk of getting cold, but also increased risk of overheating. So we say wear what, if you're dressing your child, wear what the adult is wearing, but just one extra layer. And making sure to frequently check your baby's temperature. So looking for signs of overheating. So red, flushed skin, if they're sweaty, or when you feel their skin and it's really hot, that's something that should kind of trigger you to say, oh, is my baby getting too hot?
Okay, and they can't tell you otherwise, so you got to check in them often. Dr. Mom, Always helpful advice. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
Happy holidays. Merry Christmas.
Happy holidays.
If you'd like to get in touch with Dr. Lou or follow along with more of her advice, you can do so online at Life of Dr. Mom.
Wake up with Your Morning Edmonton. Brought to you by CIR Realty. Making real estate easy in Edmonton, Red Deer, and Central Alberta.
In folklore, meeting your doppelganger can often be seen as a bad omen, but in the real world, for two BC women, sparked a unique, life-changing bond. CTV's Adam Sawatsky explains.
When Felicia Harding looked at her phone that day, she never expected to see a stranger smiling from the screen who looked just like her.
I was blown away. She really did look like me.
She was Brittany Delaney, who was also surprised when a friend said she found her doppelganger on social media.
If I wouldn't have been looking at somebody else's profile, I would have thought they were photos of me.
After connecting online, Brittany and Felicia finally met in person.
And it was like this out-of-body experience where I felt like this is how people see me.
They found their similarities range from the superficial, like being able to unlock each other's phones and liking exactly the same beer, to the more substantial, like both working as entrepreneurs and both picking musicians as their partners.
There's a million things that are same.
They formed a fast friendship, and Brittany was invited to Felicia's wedding, where, after family kept mixing them up, the women decided to do a DNA test.
A little surprised in finding out that we were both not related at all.
Although they aren't long-lost siblings, both women do feel like sisters. Even Brittany's son often can't tell them apart.
And they have like a crazy bond. He just loves her.
Loves her so much that if you show the boy a picture of Felicia and ask who it is,
it's the other mama.
the other mama.
Yes.
Which brings us to the women's big difference. Their fertility journeys. Felicia hasn't been able to have kids.
Feeling like an auntie and, feeling like other mama. Like, to me, that's really special.
But the greatest gift in finding your doppelganger, they say, is seeing yourself from a whole new perspective.
Felt, I don't know, almost a little bit healing for me, because sometimes there are things you don't like about yourself, but then watching her and interacting with her, I was just like, oh, I think she's so lovely.
A sense of self-acceptance. That's perhaps a reminder to all of us to be kinder to the reflection we see in the mirror. Adam Sawatsky, CTV News, Victoria.
Here's a look at your snow report. Snow Valley here in the city, 60-centimeter base. They've been making the snow, and they've been making it good. Marmot Basin, about 45-centimeter base there. Lake Louise, a centimeter in the last 24 hours, taking their total to a 79-centimeter snow base. As we take a look at Sunshine Village, 91-centimeter base, lots of snow out in Sunshine. Nikiska, the base is 57 centimeters there, and at Norquay, 33.
Snow Report, brought to you by Snow Valley Ski Club. Opening soon. Programming brought to you by James H. Brown Injury Lawyers, the heavy hitters of injury law.
Taking a live look through the River Valley Skycam, more drops on the lens, but you can also see flurries flying by. So a bit of a rain-snow mix right now here in the city. As we go throughout the day today, we do expect to see that on and off. Temperature-wise for today, for a high, our temperature will probably hover around 1 and 2 degrees throughout much of the day. And then we've got cold air coming in for tomorrow. -8 to start in the morning, -13 by tomorrow afternoon. Slight chance of flurries. Saturday morning, -17, -13 for a high. Sunday morning, -16, but then we start to warm up a little bit more, -6 and then 0 for Monday. Your 10-day forecast, Tuesday, Wednesday, fairly close to seasonal average, and then temperatures drop off once again. So we see this up and down pattern continue through your 5 and 10-day forecast. Just be very careful out there today, again, with the rain-snow mix. And then as we see things freeze overnight, things could become a little bit more slick for tomorrow. Kent.
Thanks, Corey. Make-A-Wish Canada made the start of the holiday season a little more special for 15 kids this week. The Fantasyland Hotel hosting the second annual Trees of Joy event. The children surprised with the unveiling of holiday trees decorated to reflect their unique interests and favorite things. Organizers say this is all about bringing donors and the kids they help together.
It helps to kick off the season, but it helps to remind them that the Wish kids that are in our community are their neighbors. It is their kid's best friend. It is a family member's child. It's for them to see that wishes are real.
Each of the 15 families will now have their tree delivered to their home. And the Alberta legislature is all decked out for the holidays after their annual light up last night. Lieutenant Governor Sal Malekani, Premier Daniel Smith, and NDP leader Naheed Nenshi all there to celebrate. The night also included a musical performance at the Visitor Centre, hot chocolate, and festive activities. The Premier says this is an important tradition.
When we light the tree tonight, we have a shining symbol of our province that will drive out the gloom and bring joy to everyone who sees it all throughout the Christmas season, because we all know that this time of year is when the sun comes up late and goes down early. This space in front of the provincial legislature belongs to everyone in Alberta.
Events continue at the Rotunda on Fridays and Saturdays, 6:30 to 7:30 in the evening until December 20th. New video has been released ahead of Taylor Swift's Eras Tour docu-series and concert film.
We've had so long to prepare for the end of this tour, and we get to play one last show for you here tonight.
The two new specials are coming to Disney+. One's a docu-series capturing the making of the tour, featuring appearances by Travis Kelce, Ed Sheeran, and Sabrina Carpenter. The other is a concert film from the final show in Vancouver. It also includes the full Tortured Poets Department set. Both of these films begin streaming December 12th. And Spotify has revealed its list of the top music trends of the year.
Sometimes we laugh, sometimes we cry, but I guess you know now.
In Canada, Drake led streams, followed by Taylor Swift, Morgan Wallen, The Weeknd, and Kendrick Lamar. Alex Warren's Ordinary was the top song. Wallen's I'm the Problem topping in albums. Globally, Bad Bunny claimed the top artist spot for the 4th year. Lady Gaga and Bruno Mars. Their hit Die With a Smile was the most streamed track with more than 1.7 billion plays.
Wow.
Very cool stuff to know heading into the new year. We'll see how it all shapes up. But right now we're focusing back in on our holiday song bracket. Your decision today on what moves on. But before that, we'll just go back in time to yesterday. A Christmas staple is out of the running. It was Jingle Bells, against Santa Claus is Coming to Town. Santa Claus moving on. Jingle Bells is out of the bracket.
And today's matchup continues, two protagonists in their own story, but who will take the hero's journey to the next matchup? We have Frosty the Snowman up against Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, both beloved characters, but are both songs beloved the same?
No.
No?
Well,
one will
I
come
don't
out
think
a
so.
winner, one will come out a loser.
Exactly, and we will find out tomorrow. But you still have a chance to have your say, so you can vote on the text line right now for the next little while. Those still count. Text Frosty to 10400 or text Rudolph to 10400. We have noticed some Rudolph spelling mistakes, so just make sure you're getting that in correctly, because it all hits a filter, and that's how we count things up. So Frosty and Rudolph today. One of them moves on. As we finish up, this side of the bracket has been sort of like the pop and kids section.
Okay.
Tomorrow we move on to the other side of the bracket for the first round. More of those classic.
Nice. I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah. There's some heavyweights on that side of the bracket as well. So we are moving our way closer to crowning, as determined by you, the top Christmas song. So looking forward to more of that coming up tomorrow. By tomorrow, though, it's going to get a little icy out there.
Yeah, very wet today. Rain-snow mix, that's going to fall throughout the day. A lot of that melting on the surface, but we've got a cold front coming through. Temperature dropping for tomorrow, -8 in the morning, and then -13 tomorrow afternoon, so everything's going to freeze.
Yeah, it's going to be a little tricky out there, so take care of your neighbors if you have an opportunity to do so. Be safe on those roads. A little extra space as we get through the city today. Have a great day, everybody. We'll see you tomorrow.